Delusions of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur. I got my foot back on the ladder. I thought that I would take another step. Somehow I convinced myself that I was going up instead of down. And I don't know why I said those things. I don't know why I did those things. I don't know why I said those things. Delusions of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur. I got off track, but now I see I'm finished with the fantasy. I come back to reality. Delusions of grandeur. 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 Delusions of grandeur.
At the dawn of creation, the gods arrived on Earth. Now we shall know their awful legacy and how it affects mankind.
Things could get better, even when all evidence pointed to the contrary. 2026 marked the 10-year anniversary since the last Spoony review. His streaming schedule, as sparse as it was, satisfied his fans somewhat, but he was still asked on a daily basis to make a grand return to video production. It's kind of amazing to consider that his absence had lasted longer than his time actually making reviews, but there were still people holding out hope that he would one day come back. That's why it came as such a blow on June 18th, 2026, when Spoony made a disappointing yet inevitable announcement. It's been over 10 years since I've produced any video content or done, well, anything with my life really. I've been nothing but a burden to my family and you guys for all that time. I think perhaps it's time to admit to myself what you've all probably known for years now, that I'm done. I've struggled for years with this, and I've tried. I really have. But even if I did come back, the culture and the platforms available have made it so that content production for me is basically impossible, and not a viable career option by any stretch. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. The truth is that I've been useless to everyone ever since I parted ways with April. The breakup destroyed me, and that's entirely on me for not being able to deal with it. The only thing that's brought me any solace is in raising my dogs, and I'm fully aware of how pathetic and sad that truly is. I'm at a loose end with my life now. Video production was all I was ever any good at. It was all I ever wanted to do, and now I can't even face getting in front of a camera anymore for all the feelings of shame and inadequacy I feel. I just don't know what to do except thank you all for your support. So thank you. Thank you all for your belief in me and all the years of loyalty, even though the years of troubles and even though I didn't deserve it. Thank you for giving a bum like me the chance to make you laugh and forget all your cares for a while. It was an honor to be a guest in your home. At the time of writing, this is Noah Antweiler's latest message to the outside world, as he has stayed uncharacteristically silent on social media since then. Dozens of people reached out to offer reassurance, the most amount of engagement any of his writings on Blue Sky have received. But even though he hasn't said anything, we do have some confirmation that he's still alive, since he updated his public Amazon wish list a few days after posting the thread, so at least we can still buy him stuff. At the end of the day, I have trouble feeling much sympathy for Noah. This is a man who was naturally talented and born in a time of great opportunity, but squandered it for no good reason. His final message is almost irritatingly self-defeatist, throwing in the towel at life at the age of 45 with nothing to show for it. He claims he can't bring himself to make a giant long-form projects, but nothing is stopping him from making short-form videos to dip his toe back into the water. Make a 60-second vertical vid in a day, try it out, and go from there. He says that the space has changed, so YouTube is no longer a viable career option, but he hasn't even tried. Plenty of his contemporaries like Red Letter Media, AVGN, and Nostalgia Critic are still going strong, and beyond that, it's not like he has any other work prospects. The fact is, this is all a slap in the face to all those who have supported him for the past 10 years, and the thousands who could only dream of having the head start he had. The story of the Spoony
So, hey guys, and that's all there was. So, I'm doing the stream because I just watched that, like just now. And there were a few things in it that really rang true to me, like it really sort of spoke to me. And I was thinking about how I might be letting people down, you know. That sort of came at the end of the day. Now I believe in God. I believe that his invisible hand is upon the world and moves things, and you get sent things at certain times and stuff like that. That sounds crazy to people that don't believe. I grew up an atheist too. But so today I got sent a video of the church guys, not a video, like a meme or something from their Discord or where it was. I don't know. It didn't make sense. Someone just sent it to me. And it was the traditional Reaper going from door to door to door. And it was showing like, Bloodstains had like a previous channel. I don't know. Then it was Frog Tony's channel. There's blood coming out of the door. And then they're coming up to my face. And the obvious intention is, oh, well, we're going to destroy this guy and get rid of this guy. And I also got sent a tweet by Ethan, because I'm not following him. And it's a screenshot of him going like, everyone's in a corner now. They've put everyone in a corner. He's referring to me for some reason or something. Apparently, it's again the person that messaged me wasn't very clear. Communicate better in your DMs, I would say. So I got both those things, and I sort of like brushed them aside and was like, okay, whatever. But then I saw this video, just now. And I thought, you know what, I took a break. And it was good. Brief, but good. And I'm not back. That's why I'm like, this is Epilogue. This isn't really season 8. But I just wanted to take some time, since I heard that, to just sort of bring it back full circle to the Spoony situation and think, like, I've had a lot of advantages that other people haven't had. Not always in life. I had to fight for everything I've got, believe me. But you know, I've had a lot of chances. I've had a lot of help, and a lot of you guys have stood by me. Yesterday was very discouraging because one of the guys that we helped out, for those of you who missed the update, there was one of our guys here that was in CG, well, there, you know, in CG, that whose father passed away in Thailand. He's an Australian, and he was calling out for help and using Comic State hashtag, and he was being ignored. And his father had passed away, and he wanted to go attend his funeral. So I pulled together all my Astartes, all you guys, and we covered the last, you know, grand or however much it was of the ticket so that he would be able to go. Well, he's been trashing me, talking mad shit about me, and I went and I looked at the thread, and I thought, why is he doing this, considering that we just helped him, you know? And not only did he delete like all of his messages, not only did he like unfollow me, but he deleted all of his messages and all of his thanks and everything. And I just felt really used and really like disrespected. And I thought, we're not going to help a charity again. But it just like, just strange. So I've been feeling pretty discouraged. And if I'm going to tell you the truth, I feel a lot like Spoony. You know, it's been hard since Yuka left. We weren't a romantic couple in any way. There's nothing like that. There people have tried to do that nonsense. But we were like family. And we're working together, and we sort of, she stuck with me through sickness and through all the bad times. And then ultimately, you know, things went poorly. Things went poorly because I wanted to forgive and go back to CG, and because I was too hard on her in the workplace, I should have like forced her to go to a chiropractor. I think that probably would have helped. But it is what it is. Can't be helped. I treated her like one of the guys when I should have treated her a little bit more delicately. Look back on it with, you know, look back on it, you can't change it. But I want to sort of get away from it. But that made it really hard for the longest time to work on Wonder Island. But the good news is, right, out of all of this, is I'm sort of through that. I'm over that. Now I'm over that hurdle. And I'm making good progress. And just yesterday, you know, my wife had to go pick up the chickens from Grafton. So they're back. They're not in here right now. But she's back home now too. But I had like a day or two to myself with a quiet house, and it made all the difference. I feel a lot better. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to be back, because we're in the middle of packing everything up, moving, getting everything out. I've still got to pull my posters down and do a bunch of like cleaning and maintenance and stuff, but we're like clearing everything out and getting it all ready to move to the new house. But I was just thinking about like how slow my production has been, because when the girls weren't here, I got an entire script done in a whole day. I did a week's worth of work in one day. It felt great. Like, but I just can't do that when they're here. I just can't. I don't know how other people do it. Like, I was able to go down, do all the farm work, get back, sit down, and just like slam through it. Like, I just threw on an audiobook, and I just sat there, and I just, you know, I just slammed it out. It was great. It was really good. And it means that I've got a little bit more free time now to do a bit more of the packing and stuff, which is good. This is where I might fall behind. But with everything that sort of happened and then watching this video, I didn't want people to think that I was going to let people force me into a corner or take things away from me. Yeah, I've been falling behind on stuff, but when I get the new place, right, when we move into the new place, my studio is going to be better. We won't have to be doing anything else. I'll be just me. I'll have the closed door and I'll be able to work again like normal. And I'll get back to producing because, like, I used to be a guy that just, I used to be like a script doctor. So, like, I've never been this slow in my production for anything ever. And I don't want to be ever again. I don't want to be ever again. And I thought about all of the people that were supporting Spoony, and then I thought about all you guys who, I mean, I've been talking about updating my Patreon for like what 2 fucking years. I just don't get a minute to do it, let alone the time to sit there and do art for it. I'm practicing new art techniques, trying to do more to be more of an artist so that I could try and fit in ultimately with a group that, you know, never really wanted me in the first place, if we're just to be honest. He's wanted me to be someone in something I'm not and forced me into combat and difficult situations I didn't want to be in. And it's a big waste of my time, creatively, financially, emotionally, just like really just not good stuff. And I don't want to feel like you guys, who've put all of this time and investment in me, aren't appreciated, you know, because I know it sounds really dumb, but the dream of having letters columns back in comic books and all of this stuff is stuff that like I want you guys to be involved. And there's a lot of people that don't care about comics and don't care about what we're doing here, and they've caused a lot of trouble for me. And my best of intentions have been walked on. Truth has been obfuscated. Reality has been twisted, and I've been presented as the ultimate charlatan and villain, as I'm, you know, hoisted and lambasted for the amusement of fundamentally sadistic, cruel people that don't care about anything, let alone the risk or harm that they're putting in the way of my family, which is causing the very duress that they are punishing me for having, which is ultimately the result of their pressures, you know. So I just don't want you guys to feel like Spoony's fans. And I don't want you to think that I haven't done anything because I haven't released anything yet. I'm in a bottleneck. And it sucks. But I'm getting through it. It's happening. And I've got a lot of things that are nearly finished. And I've just been paying for them out of pocket. You know what I mean? So that's what's been going on, you know? Like I've just been keeping everything going on my own back and trying to hold everything together. My family, my career, my comics, you know? And when I come on here to talk to you guys, like people say it's a therapy session, but all of these things happen for a reason. And it's just me trying to coherently pull it all together into, I guess, a story. And I'm glad Angela's here, because you take the Spoony video, you take the tweets of these people talking about having some sort of victory over censoring me in some way through their abuse, oppressing me into silence. And then you add this that we got in the mail today. And Angela and Miss Crothers and Samba Gogo and Lobo, you know, dogpiling losers. And Liam is in a different location. I am not. I am still in the same location. I've just stripped everything off the walls and I'm packing everything in boxes. We will be moving soon. But first, we have to clear the entire house and pack the entire house. And my wife just got back today. She's asleep right now because she had a very big drive. We got to relocate the local animals, the dogs, what to do. It's going to be a big thing. But I just wanted to say that, like, I like talking to you guys each day. I don't have anyone else to talk to. in Australia, your comic book fandom and the things that I like are a dirty secret. You know, even if I wanted to talk to the guys that are around the local area here, like the other Fireys or anything like that, no one's going to know anything I'm talking about. They might know the Captain America movie or Spider-Man, but maybe if I talk to a young guy, he might even play a Spider-Man video game. But that's not Australia. You know what I mean? Especially rural Australia. So my only tether and link to nerds and and anything like that is fans of the same stuff, people that love and appreciate the same things as me, is here talking to you guys like this. And people want to take that away from me because I've taken away other people's space because they couldn't self-regulate. And whereas I have difficulty with self-regulation due to external stresses through duress, I can always and will always happily just talk about Watership Down and how I now have all of Watership Down. And I'll talk an hour about that and I'll be happy to do so. I'm happy to hang out with people. I've been punished from the beginning of this whole ugly mess with for association, for not condemning certain people or being near certain people or this or that. I'm always blamed for everything that everyone else does. And one of the things that is really changing in a big way when I come back for season 8 is the sort of notion that I need to be Todd wrangled. You know, like imagine that you've got a whole bunch of unemployed bums, right, who have accomplished nothing with their life. And they're like running around trying to tell you how to live your life and what you need to do and stuff. And it's just kind of like, I've had my fill of that. I'll just say, I'm getting messages. I'll check the chat in just a second. So it's work. It's work. So I'll just turn that off for now. I'll get back to them when we're done. But I don't want it to be like Spoony, where you guys have invested all this stuff and then nothing's happening. Just so you're aware, Xenotype 2 is like, it's 74 pages, 74 pages or something like that. And it's like mostly done. It's mostly done. Like, I might be able to just print it and sell it on eBay. You know what I mean? Go buy it at my eBay store. I might not even need to crowdfund it. Because it's been getting worked on for so long, and there's been natural disasters that the artists have had to face. There's been all sorts of difficulties that we've all faced. Dino King 2 similarly is, you know, really far along. I had to buy my artist a house so that, and help pay for his wife's medical because of a disaster that happened, and so that they could keep making that book. Because I was like, no, he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to start doing labor and everything like this, and he's like showing me his house and it's like flooded up to his chest and talking about his wife's bills. I'm like, no, we're already too late on Dino King 2. It was meant to come out right away. Like, it looks really good though, right? And so I'm just like, look, I'll buy your fucking house. Here's your new house. Here's your fucking, you know, here, cover your wife's medical. There, keep drawing. Don't go like digging fucking gutters. You are a supremely talented comic book artist. Draw my book. You know what I mean? And it was nice to be able to do that, you know. It was nice to be able to do that and have actual things. And I wouldn't be able to do that without the support from you guys, knowing that you're out there and you want to read these stories. But at the same time, it's been my dream since we first started this thing together, right? Since we all started Conquest. And I wanted to release the equivalent of 12 floppies in a single year. You know, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do a year run with no complications, no hiccups, no disasters, no plagues, no leprosy, nothing like that, right? And I haven't been able to achieve that. And I want to achieve that in the coming year if I'm able. I want to get Wonder Island and Total Conquest out the door. You know, Dominique has provided me with another page of art, so we're nearly done. We're getting there, which is really great. So she's doing better, and might have her on in the future. But you can go check out her doing stuff on her channel as she does it. very talented young cartoonist, very talented woman. And whereas there are other stuff like, and again, in the last few days, there's been situations where it's like people I thought I could count on, or like we're buddies, we're friends, have made it clear they're not. And that can only happen so many times before you realize like you can count your friends on one hand. And at the end of the day, you need to put your mask on before you go saving anyone else, right? In a crashing plane. And that's where I'm sort of at. I went through a short period of disillusionment. I went through a short period of stress, which I mean a long period of stress, really. But I've been through it, and I'm just sort of at a point now where I'm going to finish doing this and I'm going to have a fresh start, like I'm going to get this all sorted out and essentially be at a new location. Wait until you see the new place. You're going to be like, Liam, you can't. But I want you guys to see that you put your belief in the right person, and I'm going to make good books that you guys can enjoy, and I'm just going to get away from all this shit that's been holding me back under the illusion that it was lifting me up. I always wanted to be like part of a team, part of a family, part of a group, but at the end of the day, I've got my team and my family right here. My daughter's going to be 5 this year. It's insane to believe. I just had 5 books out by now since her birth, but through all of the trauma, and I don't want to be like, oh, trauma, Liam, you can just turn the internet off. Well, there's stuff that happens that goes beyond it. I turn the internet off and it keeps coming into my life, keeps coming into my wife's life, my family's life. A lot of the stuff that's been going on that people have been turning a blind eye to for the longest time are not fictions, are not fabrications, are not delusions. They are extreme inconveniences and quite often federal crimes, right? But it feels good to just it's just me and my team. You know what I mean? Me and my team. Big shout out to the movie Perp. He showed up earlier. I think he showed up because I played Guyver. I think it summoned him like the bat signal. Frog Tony. And of course, Scotsman, the people who have been loyal to me, Sigma Centurion, these guys have been loyal to me from the beginning. People that have helped me when I needed help, helped me in ways that I was weak, like not knowing how to do certain things, like the Discord and other stuff, helping me with stuff like that. And I'm grateful for the people that have sort of helped me even now that hate my guts. But at the end of the day, and this is sort of the lesson that I've been sort of wrestling with in the last 24 hours, and I think I'm comfortable with it now. At the end of the day, you can pay for one of your countrymen to go to the funeral of their dead father in another country, and he will still call you a piece of garbage and denounce you as a fellow countryman. And whereas in the beginning that hurts, now my eyes are open. Like I always hoped that there'd be a way that people could see the truth eventually. And I'd been getting 1 or 2 people here, like Angela's the best example. I would say she's someone who thought badly of me and then came over and saw the truth, saw what's really going on, composed to what people are saying or clipping out of context. But now I'm just fully accepted that the mob is going to be the mob. There is no way to fight the mob. People are going to get upset for me saying this, but Comicsgate is a lie. When I asked for help, it was framed as weakness. When I was attacked, 90% of the time, it was always from within the Comicsgate. I was attacked from within by people that were meant to be on the same side fighting against the radical left. I boycotted in defense of John Malin. I spoke in defense of Ethan Van Sciver. I did my best to be supportive of the ordeals that he went through and understanding, and the same as other people. I promoted obscure guys like Ben from Asgard, like Dan Fraga, getting, Oz and I did that. got him like over 50 sales in one stream. We did this many times over the years, and all of the conflict and criticism and slings and arrows that came my way were always from internal forces. They were never from like the radical left. Like I was never, after 2017, 2018, after Renfamous moved on, I never had any problems. All of my problems have come from Comicsgate people. There's no desire for them to sort of see different. There's no desire for them to be grateful or treat someone like a human being. It's jealousy a lot of the time, or largely a desire to control other people. And I will not be controlled by anyone. I'm a 44-year-old self-made man. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. I had nothing, right? I had nothing growing up. And I've lost more on trying to be a team player and get along. I've lost my dignity, my self-respect, my mental health sharply declined. My suicide attempts have been brazenly mocked. Like I've been hospitalized for suicide, and it's a laughing point for people. No one's entitled to sympathy or anything like that, but a little understanding given my seniority in the community and the time I've been here would have been nice. But instead, my life, my choices, my opinions, my beliefs, my reality as it's perceived through the larger community, it has always been defined by cult-like stalkers who obsessively rewrite things to present them in the most malicious and hysterical way possible. It's almost like being surrounded by a bunch of church moms from the 90s. Won't someone think of the children? Oh, Liam. I've been isolated, shunned, shit-talked, and yet me just walking away and doing my own thing is unforgivable and becomes the source of hundreds of hours of obsessive observation. People want to tell me how to raise my child or what I should do, and most of the time these people don't have children. And when I say, are we going to be stalked more? They don't have an answer, because we can't be stalked more than we are. We've been doxxed, harassed. I can't use my phone message bank because every day it's just chocked to the brim with gay porn. Just someone sits there and calls my phone until there are so many messages of just guys banging on my phone. I've got to laugh about it. That I can't even receive phone messages anymore. I have to sit there and manually press 5 to delete all of them. Every morning. Same with my wife. So as far as I'm concerned, nothing that any of these people have to say about my life or my situation has any value at all. My accomplishments are mocked, lied about, diminished. My attempts to be friendly or genuine, utterly pointless. My attempts to get along or be part of a community are always weaponized or turned into some kind of, I don't know. I'm just going to be straight and say it. People are cowards and they go with the crowd. It's easy to make me out to be a piece of shit. It's easy to ignore the fact that people have been harassing and stalking me, and has reached a point where it's escalated to criminal violence on multiple instances, when my family's in harm, when my family is afraid. Right now, I'm in the process of moving house. Do you think that money comes from nowhere? People say, bold face, without a shred of awareness or irony, that I'm getting my money from my father-in-law. No, I've worked for everything I have. Every single thing I have, I've worked for. Every single thing I have, I save for. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't go out partying every weekend. And if you've been watching the channel for the last, decade, you'll know that. You'll have seen what I do with my spare time, how often I'm just desperate to sleep but don't. But all in all, I just want to say that it's, I've walked away from stuff in the past and come back, but I really feel that this is a closed chapter in my life at this point. There is no chance of reconciliation, negotiation, and quite frankly, I don't think that I will be personally satisfied or happy until I see the people that have been involved in this in prison. So that's just where we stand. And I don't want to be hung up on hooks every single day for other people's entertainment. I don't want to be mocked and ridiculed and tarred and feathered at my expense every day. I was happy to be the class clown. I was happy to be a goofball. I was happy to make jokes and entertain people. But at the end of the day, Comicsgate was meant to be a movement that protected creators who had faced cancellation. And instead, I have been cancelled repeatedly by people within Comicsgate, not by social justice warriors. It is not social justice warriors or the radical left in comic books. It is not Gail Simone or Heather Antos who are going to 7 News and 9 News here in my country and posting false allegations that I am committing sexual and physical abuse upon my wife and child live on stream. That's not me. That's these guys. And, the fact that these people think it's fully acceptable to essentially incite harassment and stalking and lead people to self-harm. The fact that they would in one breath tell me that my daughter, I have to not have my daughter on. My daughter can't run up and hug my arm or come and do a dance or say hi to her uncles, like as if she knows who any of these people are. She's a child. She's being friendly. That is an unforgivable sin. Meanwhile, stalking and doxing my home, sending people to take photographs of my home, posting interior photos of my house that were stolen from not stolen, but taken from previous real estate listings, contacting us over again, sending us, daily death threats, filling our inbox with masturbatory homosexual porn. And just constantly fucking around, like contacting my mother. Now, one of the things that is going on right now and again, I'm not going to get right into the rabbit hole, is that my mother, just so people understand, is a recovering addict. Now, she's been clean for 18 years, which is good. But my entire life, she suffered with substance abuse issues, physical and domestic abuse issues. And my entire life, I've been taking care of my mother. That's not melodrama. That's not like me making it up. That's just how it's always been. I was always looking after mom, not the other way around. And the fact that people are calling her and mass spamming her, mass spamming my uncle, mass spamming my brothers, sending them abuse and threats under the pretense that, well, who do you contact? Today, again, I was told that Ethan is saying that I'm a misbehaving child. I'm a 44-year-old man. And the message that I would have to the people that are worried about losing their channels because of harassment and other, terms of service violations would be just don't do that. Just don't do that. My channel's been struck multiple times for trying to expose the people that are involved, who claim they're against strikes. I've showed this. So there's an impossible double standard. And the reality is, the way you get away from this is you stop. It's the same thing that Ethan, ironically, has been telling everyone from day one. Leave Liam alone. There won't be any problems. And that's the difference between me and other people. I'm happy to live and let live. I'm happy to coexist and be professional and just do my thing. I'm happy to just talk about how awesome it is that I have the final elusive piece of Watership down. I'm happy to do that. Others are not. Others are not content for me to exist, for me to work, publish my Editors have been contacted. They've repeatedly tried to goad me into giving away my pen name, giving away my professional work relationships. They've come after my business. They've tried to come after my printer. My printer was contacted 3 times back in 2024. Yeah, I think it was. We've had problems with this, and it's not coming from the radical left. For a movement that was created to essentially speak out against this kind of action and behavior, I have faced it unerringly and repeatedly. When I called out for help and support, it was called weakness, mocked, and ridiculed, or called mental illness and delusion. When I attempted to provide evidence and provide instances of what was going on, in fact, providing direct police testimony to that fact, it was blatantly ignored as things escalated and escalated. And when I said to Katie, you have 24 hours to stop and apologize and just let it be done, I was called a paper tiger, a coward, and then further threats were made against me rather than just choosing to coexist separately. I've been painted as a monster, when all I want to do is make silly jokes, make people laugh, and entertain you guys. Make good books. Make it so that when I turn on this stream and I go, hey guys, how you doing? It's Liam. That I get to have a little bit of human contact, a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of a good time. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to have a big YouTube channel. Quality is more valuable to me than quantity. I'd rather have a good conversation with someone about their time working on the Hulk, or what their book's about, or what's going on in their life, or their favorite video game, or even wrestling. You know, it's something I'm not even interested in. I enjoy that more than I do the endless procession of fake drama from people that are fundamentally dull-bludging losers. Parasites on society and life, worm men, just blatant worm men. And the people that choose to enable them and empower those people at my expense to try and elevate them in their attacks as they literally perform criminal slander, accuse me of pedophilia, pederasty, domestic abuse, violence against my own child, sexual abuse against my own child. These people are subhuman troglodytes, and in real life, in Australia, that wouldn't go. But because I'm here and they're there, they feel they can go, dude, and say whatever they want. We all know this. It's a mob. It's a mob. And if my options are to be part of the mob or be my own self, dance to the beat of my own drum, that's what I'm going to do. And the people in that mob need to accept that they have no power over me, that nothing they can do matters. I'm not interested in their approval, their support. I don't care. I was never here to support a mob that destroys the lives of people. I really feel that Comicsgate has completely lost its way. People have said that many times over the years, but I look at it now and I see it in a sharp decline towards degeneracy, peak degeneracy, not just like, people like girls in tights stuff. I see something I don't recognize. And I see something that was built at my expense and the hopes and dreams of all the people that thought things could be different. And I can't mourn that anymore. I can't choose to be a part of it. I walked away with the shunning the last time I laughed at it. And I got shitty about it. I got shitty that these people who I stood for, who I gave, without any form of exaggeration, tens of thousands of dollars to over the years, whose support, not just myself, but my audience laid out of the time that their money is their time. And they propped all of this up. They did everything they could to help. And when I said Mancot, well, it's closed, their goal was to attack me instead of try to earn any grace or forgiveness or do better. said it wasn't Comicsgate, no one would ever dare say that to John Malin. You know, people say that Liam's always a victim and that's a bad thing. I'd say it is. But I was only ever a victim because I wanted to fit in and be part of something. And as I've been told now and explained, there's nothing to be a part of, because you're apparently meant to be strong enough to defeat an entire horde and a bunch of SJW propagandists all on your own. And if that's the case, I think I've been doing it better than any of these other guys could do. And I'm still standing, just barely. I ain't Ed Piscor. And I'm going to just get on with what I'm doing and make my books. And hopefully there'll be enough of you guys that enjoy them. You know, I always said that I wasn't going to like throw anyone under the bus or anything like that. And I hope that people watching this realize that that's not my goal here, as opposed to it's just me trying to say it's over. I'm breaking up with you. You know, it's over. I'm sorry. At this point, you know, is what CG did for me with Dinah King one of the kindest, nicest things that anyone ever did for me and my wife, my family, and my life, definitely. And we're grateful. We'll always be grateful. I say that with genuine sincerity and honesty in my heart, right? I'm truly fucking thankful. You know, I gave my word of honor that I would stop things if they stopped being profitable. If I came in the red even once, I'd stop and I'd shift to the ABC. I gave my word of honor to my father-in-law about that. And that means something to me. Man's word means something. And because of the outpour of support I got from Dinah King 2 and the reprint, you know, was sold out, I was able to keep going. And I was able to keep going through a difficult time where I'd been hurt very badly by the loss of my lead artist. And one of my best friends, frankly, one of the best people I probably will ever meet in my lifetime, someone who I miss every single day and considered family. And it was very hard. It was very hard. But through all of that, Comicsgate was there. I really enjoyed working on Kings. My father-in-law saw that there was, you know, something in the online space that he didn't understand. He finally saw what I was doing was building and growing, and there are other people who, you know, I could pull their books off the shelf and show them, this is this guy, you know, and he'd be like, oh, wow. It was not just Liam fighting a one-man war to try and help save the Australian comic book industry. There's actually a system here. There's actually something bigger. But in the end, that system was never for me. I was always just a joke. I was always just being human. I was always just, you know, I was always the worst artist on the panel. And the reality is I gave up on my dreams of being an artist back when I was a teenager. And maybe it was silly to try and chase that dream again. I'm an author. But I wanted to try to live up to these other guys. I wanted to try and see if I could catch up on my stuff, learn some new things. And, you know, if I let anyone down in that regard, I'm generally sorry. But at the end of the day, as much as the whole space was about comic books, and it was, you know, we lost Benny and everything was hard over these years, really, if you stop and think about it. Tombstone is gone, or Tom Stone he passed, and Felix Haas passed away. I think that, in all honesty, there are more times that I've said, hey, can I come on my show to promote my book? And the answer's been no, than has ever been yes. Ever has been yes. And there's been, I would easily say, without any irony, at least 10, 15, maybe 20 times the promotion that I've done for others that have gone on to not be grateful, ally themselves with people that are against me, become spiteful, bitter. And I felt that with the Kings, it was an opportunity to be around people that were more successful than me, who were not envious of me or covetous of me. And it was an opportunity for me to learn and grow. at a time that I thought I was beyond having the opportunity to learn and grow. So I'm grateful for that. But I didn't join Comicsgate to be a wallet, an infinite wallet, to be pushed around, to be mocked and ridiculed, to be attacked endlessly, and then further attacked for saying, hey, stop attacking me. And I don't need it. I don't need it. There's a lot of people who need me. And there's going to be a month or two break, maybe a little bit longer, where you guys don't see me anywhere near as much as you used to. This will probably be the last time you hear from me for a long time. And I'm only coming back because of that because of what happened with Spoony and Gamer from Mars. Shout out to Gamer from Mars. His documentary on Spoony and what Spoony said, the way Spoony felt, I felt very, very similar for a long time. I felt not good enough. But I do my best, I do my best. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to carry everyone else. I'm not. It sort of got to the point where people unironically feel they are owed more from me, or they believe they can have some sort of control over me or some sort of authority over me in any regard. I out-senior basically everyone in this space at this point. I don't think there's anyone else that I really know that was here before me. Maybe a couple of guys in the chat. And I've seen it wear many different faces. I've seen its ups, I've seen its downs. And I've heard everyone say it's dead. I've been to the funeral and I've seen it rise again, I've seen it stagger along as zombie CG. I've seen it all. And I gave my word of honor that I'd be there with Ethan at the end. This is even before everything. I was like, people throwing cinder blocks through this, attacking this guy, the same way I supported Bosk before he was even a part of Comicsgate. When I see people facing persecution from fascism, I've always stood up against it. I've always stood up for people to the best of my ability and used the advantages that I've been able to carve out for myself to try and help others, whether it be financially or otherwise. And ultimately to be betrayed so fundamentally by what is ultimately meant to be a movement in opposition to actors like John De La Rose and, again, degenerate minds, just shows me that I don't fit here, and it isn't what I started. It isn't what I wanted to be a part of. And the fact that these people feel that they can hold me to account, the fact that these people feel that my rights are invalid, that the fact that these people don't respect the fact that I come on and give 90% of my life away for free and then hold back 10% and they demand more and feel entitled to it, says to me that I'm not appreciated, So it is what it is, It is what it is. I don't see it changing. I don't think I really want to give it another chance to change. What I needed was brothers. People always say, people always gave me shit. But what I needed was brothers in Christ. What I needed was brothers at arms. What I needed was people not afraid to stand up and say what's right and what's wrong. Say that I'd been treated unfairly, unreasonably. I know that if someone else in this space had their, again, struggling, like, I don't even know what to call it, their mother, their adult fucking mother, whose body's fallen apart, who's like looks like she's 20 years older than she is, who's been a victim of all sorts of fucking abuse that you can imagine, being hounded and kept up through the night. No one else, if that happened to Graham Nolan or Ethan or John or Shane, even just one phone call, it'd be the end of the universe and everyone would be up in arms. But because it's happening to Liam, people showing up with weapons, threatening my life, the literal attempts on my wife and my child's life, and my animals' lives, like kidnapping attempts, they all think it's a big joke. Let's call me delusional, a liar, a psychopath, even as they look at it. Even as guys like TJ will come out and sit there and blatantly tell you that he's been in the Discords and he's seen it. Even when guys like Fetzelbach will come out and tell you, yeah, I was part of it and I was evil. It's still not sufficient. Police tell you, not sufficient. I'm instead painted as a monster and a demon. And you know what? I think I'm done. Because every single one of these people are less than me. Every single one of them. Every single person that thinks they need to control me or wrangle me or anything like that, they are less than me. And always will be. Always will be. You could talk to me like an adult and treat me like a normal person. You don't need to wrangle me. And all of these people that think they need to wrangle me, there's something wrong with them, isn't there? Comes down to, in the end, I'm going to control by anyone. Not by anyone. I'll respect advice, opinions, kindness, but it's time for me to go my own way again. And this time it's for good. I'm not going to let essentially gnats and ants and fleas think that they've got the ability to shut me down. They don't. And as they continue to cross lines from obsession into criminality, as they've continued to do, and as many of them, as I've recently found, have had previous convictions over, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? When all of this comes out, I think that folks will see what's happening. So I'm going to do whatever I please, and if people have a problem with it, they can cry. Where? Just like Liam used to. They can cry all they want. 100,000 people can cry, and I will not care or flinch. I will not show an ounce of sympathy for what happens to anyone else, because I have not been shown an ounce of sympathy for death threats on my daughter, for threats on my wife, doxing of my home, me having to, again, buy another house and move my entire life. You realize that my daughter has to lose all of her friends from school, right? Because of what you guys have done. You're talking about how evil it is that I have my daughter on stream. Because your people have done what they have done, we need to move to a new school district, because the last time they knew where it was, they tried to abduct my eldest daughter. So we need to go to a whole new school district and hide where we are again. That is what your people have done. And my daughter, because of that, the friends that she has made over the last 4 years of her life, she'll never see them again because of you. And you sit here bold-faced in your drunken fucking stupors and highs, cackling with one another in a Discord server, celebrating that evil. Probably because none of you ever had friends or know what goodness or kindness is. Most of you don't even like comic books, but for some reason, you're given voice and authority over me. Someone who has fans, success, I've won awards. I've been here and have seniority. Always made people laugh, always put people in a good mood. Always tried. It's more than any of you will do, because all you do All the worm men do is destroy, and everyone sees it. So, you know, that's that. That's all I got to say. To the people that I let this is, I've let this get to me for a long time, and there's stuff I won't reveal until the court cases are all done, until things are finished. And then we'll talk about it in full. There's not going to be ring camera footage of me with my ass half hanging out fighting a guy for you guys to EFAP for 100 years. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of films or folk heroes or who's in the restraining orders so that you can make idols out of them. I'm not going to give you or do any of those things. They will all be available through the court documents once things are done and people are arrested. And I've got nothing to say or prove to anyone else. Tough shit. And if you want to sit here and call me a liar and make this about a speech issue rather than a harassment and security issue, then you truly are a fucking idiot. And anyone who believes it, who's watching this, who thinks this is about Liam having hurt feelings over people calling him names, is sincerely, look at me, a fucking moron. Complete fucking idiot. I would not buy an entire new house and uproot my fucking family over someone calling me mean names on the fucking internet. But that's what they're going to try and tell you. And when they tell you that, I want you to go to the video on my channel with the cop and listen to me say the poison, this and this, and the cop says, yes, it's all extensive and you've got nothing to prove. And realize that these people, most of them have known about it for years and just look the other way. Remember Ethan chewing out Von Klaus on that live stream. Remember when the truth slips through the facade. And remember that they made this all as a choice. At my expense. At the expense of my daughter's childhood. At the expense of my wife's security. At the expense of my own peace of mind, which they openly declared war on as a joke, that I would never live another day in peace. Well, I think I'll be all right. If that's what Comicsgate is, then I don't need it, and I never did. But I think you'll find it needs me. I think you'll find that most of the streams going forward for at least the next 6 months will be about me. All right, let's see what everyone has to say. Liam, don't care if you call him fat. He cares about the safety of his family. Yeah, I don't care if you call me fat or short. I'd love to be a little midget. I'd love to be a little leprechaun. I could dress all up in green with my red hair and top of the morning to you. It'd be fucking great. But I'm not, Like, I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. But it's being framed as that. It's mean words. It's violent threats and attempts on my... We'll just see what happens, won't we? But I'm not going to give another 10 years up of just being punched around and pushed around and manipulated by people. I was told, Liam, stay in your lane and focus on your books. And I did. And then they punished me for that as if I wasn't doing that. Not on. I said, stop, or this is going to fucking happen. You've crossed lines. And they doubled and tripled down. I mean, I don't care what happens to anyone else. No one cares what happens to me. I'm struck all the time. No one cares. I have horrible things happen to me all the time. No one cares. People EFAP me a million times. Some people will go like, oh, that's terrible. Like JJ said in the last stream where I spoke to him, that he's like, oh, people shouldn't be doing that. But he doesn't disavow them. He doesn't distance himself from them. He doesn't, cut them off from his circle. And I am cut off. Other people are propped up as they continue their vendetta and war against me when I've said, just stop. And they refuse to just stop. It's going to get to a point where it's like, well, I'm not going to willingly give up my career and my fans and my space for you. I'm not. I'm sorry. And I don't have to. I don't have to. If you don't like the terms of engagement, tough shit. This is brinkmanship at this point. We are playing brinkmanship. I'm Cyclops, motherfucker. Pew pew. Let's see who flinches first. I got nothing left to lose. You took everything from me. You took my friends. You took my family in the form of my oldest daughter. Barely get to see her anymore. Broke my family. Terrified my children. Took my privacy. Took my peace. Threatened my family. Mocked and ridiculed me. Took away all dignity and everything I had, even when I'm being a clown. Went further. Sexualized me and created me in strange pornographic situations. And then just to undermine me enough, you invited me to Jersey. Made me so happy that I cried like a child, going, oh my God, overwhelmed with emotion and belief in the goodness of people for a tiny window. And then you waited until I told my family, my church family in Jacksonville and in Bremerton and stuff, that I was going to be coming. And then you ripped it away from me to make content for your YouTube shows because you never intended to be kind or good people. You wanted to torture me. And you humiliated me in front of my American family, who then I had to go and tell everyone afterwards, oh, actually, don't come. I had to go and tell my fans who were already in the process of planning their tickets not to come anymore. You, so you insulted me, you humiliated me. You offered me one of the only things I would ever want in a form that I could experience it, because I can't go there as a vacation unless I take my whole family. But if it's a work job, I can do it. If it's a work job, I could do it. I could justify it, and I wouldn't lose face in front of my father. But, you did all of that to me. So you've humiliated, you mocked me, constantly insult me, constantly tear me down, constantly, try to convince me that I'm worthless or of less value than people that are literal unemployed drug addicts that consider Twitter their full-time job. I try to support a victim of domestic abuse, someone who was, again, pumped full of drugs, put through fucking porn, humiliated, pissed on. And I try to be Christ-like and support her new life away from that, support her career, her relationship, her choices, that she chooses to pursue the arts, and I choose to help her in the arts and encourage her forward, instead of having her defined by the violence and abuse that she's been forced to struggle to live within. And so you vilify her to humiliate and tar and feather me more and protect her abuser. Okay. All right. You call me a liar and a fraud. You tell everyone that I'm insane, that I'm crazy and I can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. When that doesn't work, you tell them I'm a compulsive liar. And everyone believes it. Even people who have received the most grace that a person can give, charity, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for nothing, when no one else was listening, they'll still choose that lie. And that's why I hope people understand that defamation is a crime. That it's not just about words. It's about the security of my family. It's about our right to live peacefully. It's about the safety of my animals. And it's about my right to exist and create as a creator. I want to create freely, and apparently I'm not allowed to do that. Where I have access to, the platforms I have access to, means shit. The fact that even when I was on the outs with CG the first time, that I never went on Kickstarter like these other guys. I stuck to my word. I stuck by John. I stuck by these people. I'll never have that reciprocated. Doesn't have to be. But it probably should have been. All those times I stood up for Comicsgate, all those times that I said, no, you're wrong, it can be better. The friendships I lost. Everything I sacrificed should have probably been recognized, at least in some way. And when people were going against me, actively trying to ruin me for the out of what was fundamentally pettiness, not anything I'd actually done to them, just jealousy, pettiness, envy. These are the people who should have been punished and held to account, not me. I didn't attack them. I was told over and over again, Liam, apologize to this person. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I did so. We have it on file and record. I can date and stamp it. That's why I started doing the Comicsgate drama playlist. So I have the timeline. It was not me that was going to other people's chats and making accusations that they had not paid their artists, which was lies, defamation. They committed acts of sexual assault, which never occurred, except inside the inspect element box. That recreate history, say that I sexually abused Odie, various other things like that. It's ludicrous. Anyone would have just walked away, but I stuck it out because I was a true believer. Because most of my guys, the whales, the power backers, believed in this dream, believed in it, believed in these people, believed in this cause, believed that it could be something better, and that the enemies that we were facing were not our brothers. To believe such heresy, inconceivable. Our enemies are Marx, the sort of Marx. Our enemies are the radical left. They're the degenerates, the furries, the weirdos, the scumbags. Well, say what you will about me. I ain't fucking Pokemons or dogs or kids or like 18 and 19-year-old girls. I'm a married dude, works a fucking farm during the day, makes comic books by night, and just wants to fucking make people happy, give something back. There's a consistent message that's been through my life. John Mark, JMD, and Michelle Herrera, two of the most fundamental influences in my life, the people who, some of the first people to show me kindness without reciprocation, without asking for anything back, the people that inspired me and shaped me and helped me learn to be the hero that I am today. More myth than man. When I had everything, when I won the game of life and came back, I went back. Instead of focusing in purely on my future, I went back to all the people who were fundamental in helping me develop the tools, skills, and opportunities that I needed to succeed in my career and in my life, to do the things that I've done. I went to every single one of them and I said, like, here, money, whatever you want. Tell me whatever you want and it's yours. Genie wish, whatever you want. And both Michelle and JM said to me, two different, again, 2 years apart each one, said to me, just pass it forward, Liam. Just pass it along. So I took all of my success and what I had and I put it into the Hero Initiative. It's where I did everything. I was trying to take care of artists, trying to look out for people because I've had some friends that have gone through some stuff. And when Comicsgate came along, I thought, well, I'll pull all my money out of that, my donation. I cut my donation way down on that. And I'll take that same money and I'll funnel it into this. And I've been called subhuman, all sorts, by people who I've given thousands of dollars to, lied about by people I've given literally thousands and thousands of dollars to, who have never had any real meaningful interaction with me or a private conversation. So I think that's about everything I can say. I mean, like, I misstepped, didn't I? There's a couple of people that have said, well, Liam, we told you not to go back to CG. We told you. We would have stuck around if you didn't go back to CG. And I'll say to those people who are watching now, if it was you, would have I stuck by you? Look in your heart. If you said, hey, this guy apologized to me, I want to forgive him in my heart, I want to try to do good and use this as a mechanism to help other artists, would have I turned my back on you? As you tell me that you're my friend after seeing everything I've been through for the last fucking decade. Oh, well, I can't co-sign it. You're hurting yourself. Well, I am now. But I tell you what, it hurt a lot less. Having more of you guys that stuck with me instead of trying to tell you I told you so. Maybe if there was more of us that were willing to just be kind and good people, we might have outnumbered the scumbags. We might have maybe been able to outnumber them and be exactly the change that I thought that we could be, and maybe I wouldn't be here now. But I think that you all know, and you know who I'm talking to. You guys know who you are. That if it was me, I would have stuck by you and been your friend. I would have trusted your call, and I would have said, well, if it goes bad, we'll fucking deal with it just like we have everything else. Have some faith in me. But it is what it is. I don't hate you guys either. Just it's going to take extra work to do this on my own. And hopefully, when all is said and done, we can get back to a reality where I can open up a toy without someone saying it's hysterically saying it's some sort of threat on someone's life, and where, a rational person doesn't call that gaslighting. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, if I was to threaten someone with a knife, it'd be pointed at the camera and I'd be like, oh, got you, cunt, or something like that, right? Like, not like responding to an offhand comment from the chat, in a flippant way. It's just really ridiculous. And if you're one of those people that have been around and you just want to define me by clips, then, I'm never going to respect you. I'm never going to live that way. And I will flag. So I just don't care anymore, right? Like, tough shit. Oh, it's gay. Okay. Hey, deal with it. What's gay is you trying to control my life. What's gay is you people trying to screw everything up that I've built, trying to take everything away from me, trying to prevent me from being creative or happy or in a positive mind state. What's gay is vowing that I will never have another day of peace. What's gay is people acting like tough guys or bullies behind anonymous avatars and names on the internet. Faceless cowards that would never say the things that they say to my face. People that would run with lies to disparage and destroy a man rather than give him a chance to prove who he really is to you because you want to be part of some group. People that will take from you and then act like they're entitled to have what was your labor and your work. That is what I think is despicable. That's what I think is cowardly and craven. And I don't think that anyone's got the character in themselves, or at this point, the age that everyone is, to behave better. And I certainly am not going to give them that chance again. So it's a nice little the end, right? Little cap on it. That treasure chest looks to me, that's on my art supplies. I just put them here because they're on the table. I've been tinkering around with sprays and different things to try different things. They're obsessed. It's true. To be fair, you're depriving people of their YouTube channel, which apparently is now a fucking human right of some time. I'm not depriving them of anything. There's a million things and a million places and a million stuff that you can do. You do not have to fixate on my life every single day and make stories up or try to get W's over me. You could just ignore me. You know, if all I want is attention, which is what they claim, just ignore me. I'd be quite happy to just do what I'm doing. But the goal is destruction of my life and my family. You defended Commissgate more than Cecil ever has, yet he is adored by the same dumb shits who dogpile you. Yes. After I gave him thousands of dollars. If he said he's playing a risky game, if he said that he's playing a risky game, yeah. Liam, you are a sweet, sweet man. No one, not one person has done more for comic books than you. This is the real and you don't deserve it. There's lots of people that have done more for comics and stuff, but I've done a lot for this movement that doesn't ever get talked about. If people were to honestly set aside their like hatred, if they had the courage to speak truth instead of going along with what they want other people to say, you'll find that I've given time, lots of advice, lots of actual useful advice, creative advice, financial advice, putting books together advice, like to people that don't know what they're doing, that are just starting up, that are just coming up. I've given promotion to a lot of people, even though I haven't done that in, I'd say, 4 years, which is on me. But, I can't change that. Things went the way differently. Things haven't been good. But we could have gotten to a timeline if the suburbs went the way it was meant to and people were adults and thought about business instead of high school politics, where we were back at a point where by now I would have been promoting, and we'd be having 20 to 30K campaigns for smaller creators. Again, big creators would be up, it'd be positive. It would be as I planned it, but that's not what happened. So here we are with people reveling in failure and using that failure. You've got to understand the slums, the worm men, the people who are currently doing their victory laps. They can't succeed because they don't have talent or ability. They've tried and tried for 7 or 8 years now, and they've never been able to really pull themselves out of the mud because that's where they live. They're afraid to exist without shit. They've got all of these rules about how you've got to succeed, what you've got to do, but they've never had success themselves in any meaningful or significant way. They've never been able to reach those funding goals. Even when they attach themselves to the likes of Dillard and Yellow Flash and try to puff those guys up, those guys ended up going to another space in the form of Eric July rather than the slums giving them the success that they'd hoped for. So they get $6,000-$7,000 all the time. They can't ever exceed that. They can't. But these people are now going to define what everyone else has. So everyone else's funding is down. All of my guys have left. And I'm going to be frank, we're where most of the money is. You don't think so, but we are. Okay. There might be a couple of big whales out there that'll buy a $4,000 cover or whatever. But, literally I could just say back this thing and get $12,000 in a day. If I was like, this is the one we're doing this year, boom. Wouldn't be hard. Because I've got big guys. I've got comic book store owners, multiple comic book store owners who are my guys. So they buy a lot. Now, that's how I've been able to keep afloat despite everyone trying to cancel me, right? Trying to screw with me. But fact of the matter is, the guys from the slums, they have a lot of pride. They're very egocentric people. And so, like, rather than go, okay, our advice isn't good, or we can't do what needs to be done, or what we're doing is wrong, we need to listen to someone else, they instead want everyone else to be in a state of failure or down low, not succeeding as good as they can, so they don't feel bad about themselves. It's a self-defeating negative state of mind that holds everyone down, which is why I told Katie and the other people in the beginning, don't go near the slums. We're going to go here. We're going to be doing anime reviews. We're going to be like focused on positive things, happy, good times, and do not go near that. That is bad. But straight into it. Now you're in a swamp. Now you're drowning. Now we're enemies. And I'm like, I can't afford to be part of the failure. That's my Frankenstein, and it's a monster, and it's going to eat you now. No, I just don't care. I'm sorry you chose destruction. I tell everyone not to go into the quagmire. Don't go into the swamp. It's full of shit. Don't go to the slums. But hey, is what it is. The kings, although they're apparently gone, will survive. But Ethan's tightening his belt, trimming the fat. So there's a lot of those guys that are going to be dropping off, probably 10, 15K down. They're going to feel it. They're going to feel it without my guys. Don't you worry. And, they're going to, without Ethan and without me, they're going to notice. They will notice. Yeah, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. It's just like they want people to be failures. They've chosen a failure path. They've chosen the path of people that think that success is YouTube views. And in doing so, they're willing to fundamentally alienate and ostracize and drive away comic book fans. Outraged to turn my fucking creation, my good work, into more of the slums, into the sector. It's not the sector. It's like someone's feeding fucking unleaded into a diesel engine. It's like you're gonna fuck the whole car, and you basically already have. So I'm out on foot, and I'm just hiking down the fucking road. Just time to get on with it. Leave these people to starve in the slums and eat each other. That's what they've chosen. So, moving down. She's an autistic woman as well. Yeah. Oh, the ultimate villain. Victim. Yeah. Couldn't possibly be that there's legitimate reasons and stuff that's going on, right? Like, that could never be true. It could never, could never be an instance. Even SCOTUS has established free speech is an absolute. Can Cyclops wink, or is he just blinking? He can wink. It's just, he's got the glasses on, right? Yeah. There will be more Liam or Frog Tony for them to EFAP. There will be no more Liam or Frog Tony EFAP. They go there, EFAP their old streams they watched already. It's pretty pathetic of them. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. But, oh, goodness. Liam doesn't belong in America, in the land of free speech. Are you one of the one or two viewers that were hanging out on One Gun's channel while he reported me to the Australian embassy, calling me a threat to the United States because I exist? Someone else that's desperately scrambling to have control over something they can't. Poor Ben. Dies not with a bam, but a whimper. I think it will continue on. I just don't think they realize what they've done. And I don't think they care, more importantly. What was the script you wrote about? Can we expect the Odyssey review? I don't think so. I do like the Odyssey. I reference it heavily in Crossroads Drive. So, but I don't think I'll go see it. Did you go to the Geek Expo? No, I didn't. I've been here working all day. So I'll go next year. I'll probably go next year. I'll start to do more local conventions here. I have been invited. So I've got to do a review of some Australian manga and Queenie Chan stuff as well. She gave me all of that, so I've got her stuff. I've got to do a review of that, let you guys know more about the scene here. If you listen to fools, the mob rules. Yeah. I'm happy to stand with Koala King. He was right after all. The truth always comes first. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it, that the guy that's considered the biggest liar in the entire space is also the guy that tells the most truth, right? It's I'm a student of irony, and I appreciate it, I'm standing better than I ever did, looking like true survivor and standing tall after all that picked up the pieces of my life without any of mine still standing, yeah. So scrolling up. Interesting that when Liam removes Liam from Comicsgate Kings shortly after he ends Comicsgate Kings, anyone that goes against the Koala King ends. Yeah, it's I mean, so Liam's not on Kings. Kings views numbers decline. Ethan shuts down Kings and starts doing trash casts based on Liam. Nuff said. It's a little comic book reference for you guys. Nuff said. That's all I'll say. Nuff said. To be fair, they probably would if they interacted with you. A lot of these people don't. Yeah, a lot of these people choose not to actually just speak fairly or civilly or like have a private off-air conversation between adults. They want to like dramatize and create conflict for me, and I'm past the point where I want to even entertain that as a concept. Like, I don't want to have these people in a delusional state where they think they have any sort of authority over me, or like, oh, did I make you angry? Did I hurt your feelings? Your little Fifi's okay there, baby? Little baby, your little Fifi's okay? Did I say something to hurt your feelings? Well, my free speech. It's like, at the end of the day, I don't do what these people do to me. I just don't do that. So anyone could just act like they're in a civil society. When I joined up to join YouTube and stuff, I didn't sign up to join 4chan. If we were on 4chan, I would be a different animal. But I'm on YouTube, and if my little daughter wants to come up to me and say, "Hey, uncles, do you like my new shirt or my new toy or my dolly or whatever?" I'm going to go, yeah, that's great, Elle. Look, this is all a happy, positive place. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, Elle, be afraid, be afraid. Like, I'm going to do what the professionals told us to do, and that is be fearless in the face of this, embrace her, and if people really have a problem with it, then why don't I see any of them covering any of these other YouTube videos where children are actually being exploited? For me, Elle just comes on and climbs all over me sometimes and acts silly. And it's increasingly rare. It's not all that often, contrary to their clips. Whatever, they wait and they clip it, and then they show it everywhere, out of context usually. And then all I do is I hear about it. But I'll do like dozens and dozens of streams without Elle. And still I'm being accused of having Elle on all the time. Like it's a standard show thing. No, just when she comes, I welcome her instead of pushing her away. And there are actual channels out there where parents are harmfully illustrating the lives of their child to the point of like just showing every aspect of their child's life, even them getting changed and stuff, and no one's reporting on any of that. No one would dare say anything because these guys have millions of subscribers. But for some reason, they feel they have the right to do that for me. At the same time, they're defending people that are stalking my house, posting my residential address where my child lives, and their other friends and co-workers who they are part of a team with are accusing me of pederasty and spousal abuse. That's just fine. But Liam going, yeah, Elle, that's right. Say hi to your uncles. Say hi. How you doing? That's unforgivable. That's you shouldn't be doing that, Liam. I've got to just tell you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, yeah, okay, I don't give a fuck what you say. I give a fuck what the police psychologists say. You know less than them. They went to college and school for it. You're a fucking armchair YouTube person that doesn't know anything. So fuck off. You know, and if I saw someone that was like, if there was someone who's like had reported on other people going, hey, you shouldn't have your kids on YouTube and all this, but no one said this shit to Tug. Why didn't anyone say this to Tug? Why didn't Tug get reamed out for having the Littlest Umbrella Girl sitting there? She was way more on. She was on way more. Why didn't all of these big YouTubers go at her? Why didn't they go at him about having Lug on? He put her in a book and everything. Where was all the criticism towards him? Nowhere? Right, cool. That's what I thought. Shut up. Satanic bozos. That's right, Rich. Good to see you, Rich. It's not that I don't think that Liam deserves to be bothered for what he did to Katie. It's all come back to me. I don't know what that means. Riley was keeping her mint in check, man. Riley's pimp hand was strong. Did he really say this? He was keeping her in check, and it needed to be there to keep her in check. She's fucking out of her mind right now. I'm just going to pick up my little trot into a little jog. I'm just going to jog a little bit further down the road. Just a bit further. It's good luck. Good luck. Fuck me. Oh, God. Oh, God. 90s church mom vindicated on a daily basis. Not an ideal example. No, I think it is. It's just the same mechanism in a different cultural group. These are people that are vindicated in their hatred, and they feel it empowers them. They feel justified to dehuman me. Like in 1984, it's that hour of what do they call it? I forget. But you know how there's they get in, there's that guy on the screen and they all scream and it's like cathartic. Like it's in 1984. That's what I am. Just so you guys understand, like in the lives of these people, that's what I am. I'm that guy that they're screaming at on the screen, the guy they hate from 1984, so that they all as a single mob have that unified hatred. Without that, they have nothing. As you're going to see from when I just disappear and then they've got no content. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Like you, Liam, I'm just sitting there going, well, here's the truth about, I don't believe you. I mean, I don't know if I'm like not going to try to believe you. I'll just ignore it. Okay. Do I want to get into this? Because if I do get into it, John Diller is posting Liam's address and pictures of his house. What about everyone else doing it? What about everyone else doing it too? It's going to kind of justify Liam, because I am justified. I am the good guy here. I actually care about people, as gay as that is in the 20th century. Like, I actually care about people. I care about comics. I cared about Comicsgate. I wanted people to do well. Even my enemies. I wanted my enemies to do well. I don't want this to end badly. I don't want the whole thing to be bad. I did everything I could at my own to my own expense, in the realm of hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point, by the way. It's one of the other reasons I felt sympathetic for Ethan over the trademark defense, because I was like, fuck, I've spent so much money fucking defending this shit. But yeah, it's done now. Mockers and scoffers, yeah. Her channel was viciously taken down. Taken down by Liam Gray, and it's evil beyond comparison. 45 seconds later, yellow super chat paste a clip of Liam's suicide note. Yeah. Well, hey guys, I tried. Just, you can't do the impossible. You can't do the impossible, can you? When everyone's against you and sabotaging everything, and people are afraid, It's like in the end, it's like why I'm trying to like build a team thing here, have things be successful. I'm trying to guide people to success, and they're just choosing failure over and over again, and then I'm being blamed for the failure. And it's like, you don't know I didn't attack these other people, and I didn't attack these other people, and I know I didn't attack these other people because I've showed all of the correspondence to psychologists because I was gaslit into thinking, is there something wrong with me? Is there some? Am I crazy? Am I not? Is there some sort of behavioral issue? Am I really autistic and I don't know it? Can I do the autism test again? That's how bad they gaslit me. So I was thinking, there's something got to be wrong with me. Everyone keeps saying it, but no, there isn't. There's nothing wrong with me besides emotional duress, which is an external factor that doesn't require any sort of internal medication. Like I'm not schizophrenic, I'm not bipolar, I'm not delusional, I'm not a pathological liar, I'm not psychotic, I'm not narcoleptic, none of that. It's just I react combatively when I'm pushed due to the increased amount of pressure I'm under all the time. And it sucks, but it's something I can deal with, and I've learned how to deal with. When Liam gets back to the chat, he's just going to see a wall of text from me. I was having fun yelling at GHG. Yeah. TJ's right. They're all gremlins. Yeah. Thanks for the help, Town Crier. Well, I don't know what I did for you, buddy, but I hope you have a good day. Dry those tears. Become town high fiver. No point in crying. Shed tears for nothing. If you want me to treat like a human being, you will stop striking channels. That's okay. You don't have to treat me like anything. If you want to treat me like I'm an animal and a piece of trash and a monster, that's fine. But there are consequences to dehumanizing people. I would just be kind and civil and respectful and stay away. Love the Transformer shit. Yeah, Shenny got it for me. It's cool, right? Classic thing. We fall and get back up. Yeah, it's called testimony. Amen. Yeah. Just ignore it, Liam. Yeah, people want to make their career off you. They can't create anything of value or interest themselves. They want to consume what you have and destroy you. And I like them, and therefore you should allow them to do it. I don't like you and I like them, so allow them to do it. Very brave. Very, very, very good. Good job. Good job. Yeah. You invoke the name of God while having no idea how many saints literally speak on the challenges and persecution they underwent. Mm-hmm. When you've never been in a similar situation. This is very true. A lot of these people don't understand. I'm going backwards, so it's going to be a little hard to navigate or try and navigate. Buy me a house and I'll cook them chickens for you. We've got to grow them a bit first yet. They're not ready. They've got their little tails sticking up, man. I'll show you this, another time. I might upload a little short of the chickens running around. I'll show you what they look like now so you guys can see how they're doing. Oh gosh. You look at this gas house gorilla. I stream all the time and bitch like a baby about how everyone's mean to me and my family. What bullshit. What's really bullshit is that you're an alt of someone who felt the need to come here and say that, and that shows that there's something wrong in you. Understanding is more powerful than propaganda in the end, just ridiculous, silly shit. In the name of God, Liam, stop acting like a man, act like a victim. How about you shut up and I'll do whatever I want? How about that? You're making it out that I'm not acting like a man. Again, house, taxes, no bills, no credit card debt. Happy. What more is there? What is, like, how am I the victim? I'm not, clearly, because I'm winning. I'm winning, contrary to everyone's overwhelming efforts. And even people that are like far more popular than me, far more successful, have much larger followings. They're sitting there trying to convince me that my life's not worth living, that I've got no value, and all of this. And I just keep on having a great life and doing all the winning so far all the time. Still, all of these people trying to control me. Oh, you're acting like a spoiled child. Tough shit. Tough shit. Seems like that's a you problem. You know how it's always all of my problems are always a me problem? Well, me not doing what all you guys say seems like it's a you problem. Seems like that's something that you guys should be working out in yourselves. Just ignore it. Just ignore what I'm doing. Just ignore it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I'm through the chat. I'll get back down to the bottom and I'll catch you guys next time, I guess. A minute. Folks are still chatting down here. You need to show receipts. I don't need to do anything. Because when I do, I showed the death threats and the rat poison. That wasn't enough. Okay. What about the police? What about the video where it says Liam never shows receipts, and then there's the cop saying yes, and I say the poison and all this expressly. This is what they say. They say, oh well, you don't show the reports. I don't have to, because this is all being done in court, and I'm not here to be your content farm, you stupid little whore. Right? Do you understand? You little e-whore, whoever you are. I'm not here to be your content farm. I'm here to make comic books and hang out with my fans. I'm not here to give you an endless stream of shit that you can speculate over and spin into content every single fucking day. I don't give a shit. I know that's what you people want from me, but what I want is justice in a court of law. I don't want to give you folk heroes. I don't want to give you anything more. And the people that I trust, like Frog Tony, Scotsman, I'll show stuff. Hell, I would have showed stuff to the Kings had they asked me, but they didn't want to see it. They didn't want to know about it. It wasn't professional. They don't want to know. It's much more professional to call me a liar. So fuck them all. Fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. What do you think about that? I don't care what they do. If they fuck around, they'll find out and they'll cry about it. But I've got a lot less to lose. They took everything from me. I have nothing to lose. Nothing. They can try and turn my backers against me, but they shit all over my backers. They took money from them in good faith and then fucking basically stole from them. And I'm not talking about late books or anything like that. I'm talking about the whole keep Liam, kick him out thing. Do you know how many people complained to me about that? I had people complaining because they didn't know that was going to be a thing, so they couldn't donate. I had people complaining that I was kicked out anyway, even though they paid all that money and all this other stuff. I had so many people complaining. It's like, you know what? Fucking, you've treated my people, the people that are supporting Conquest Comics, which is a significant margin of people, even though they're not YouTube influencers. They're backers, the important part of all of this, the actual guys that back books, like the guys, like most of the guys in Frog Tony's chat, my guys, people that actually give money, and not just to own the libs, people that like comics. They've been disrespected, they're upset. The situation with how the man cop was handled, they're unhappy with it. They're unhappy with it. This isn't Liam telling you. I'm relaying what people have told me. They were displeased that when they said that they were boycotting, they were insulted and spat on by the pros. Especially since a lot of these guys are like OG Comicsgate. And they're like, this is like when Malin boycotted Kickstarter, we were all on board and we all did this. And now these people are spitting in our face the same thing. And I'm like, yeah. I just stopped bothering being peacemaker. I just stopped being I just got to a point where I said, they're just going to do what they're going to do, man. I'm sorry, fucking all we can do is just try and be reasonable. You know what I mean? But it's just be cool to the people that are cool. But it gets to a point where you're just constantly stabbed in the back, and it's like, okay, well, fucking, of course they're going to be disillusioned and bitter. And it's like, then when, Katie and crew, instead of handling the boycott like professionals and going, okay, what can we do to better our behavior and try and bring you guys over and come together as a community and work together, they instead tried to turn it into sports ball, into blood sports, and fight over it instead of like, keeping the fans happy. They made the fans angrier instead because they thought that would make more money. Okay? All that it did was made a whole bunch of people angry, and then start watching Lord Raptor Jesus' show more. They all did you notice how his views all went up? Notice how he got that bumper like 20 to 40 extra fucking views when that happened? Regulars, they all started going there because everyone just said, well, what's he got to say instead? So they started listening to him. You just pushed everyone away into the group of people that were angry. It's like the opposite of what I was trying to accomplish. I went, oh, shit. All of my regulars, well, not all of them, but a whole bunch of my regulars are fucking mad as shit. And now they're over there watching Lord Raptor Jesus' show and sending me clips from that. Well, that's I can tell the weather of Comicsgate by the clips that these people send me. See, I don't watch all this stuff, contrary to what people will try and tell you. Honestly, do not. It's hard to keep up with it all. But if I'm getting sent all clips and it's from like Lord Raptor Jesus' show or Vicky's show, I know that the whales, those power backers, they're upset at what the shit that Ethan's saying and doing. And I'll know that if they're sending me clips that Ethan's saying and doing, then they're upset at other people or they like Ethan at that point. That's how I can gauge by just seeing what I'm being sent, the stuff that deserves my attention the most in the eyes of these people. Because I just listen to what the backers say. It's all about the backers. It's all about the backers' money. That's how I was able to say, like, you don't understand the power dynamics at play here. And they threw a shit fit about that and started like, rah, 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 like fucking child making silly juvenile voices. And I'm like, I'm trying to make you money. I promised to be the $10,000 dollar golden koala, and you're making it hard for me to do that, Ethan. You're making it hard for me to make your money properly, Ethan. But I suppose you can see if you can build a channel off my back like John Delarose and hound me for fucking 10 years. See how that works out. See how many times you can get away with that. Guess that's worth gambling fucking Ava's future on, isn't it? See, instead of just being an adult and a professional, make me the villain. Maybe you can get canceled for real and go on to a biggest problem in the universe, and they can make you $30 instead of just being professional and treat me like an adult. Same with all these other people, right? Just it's retarded shit. So I need to show receipts. No, I don't. No one looks at the police video. No one cared about the threats against my kid. I showed the receipts of of Riley going after my mom and accusing me of shit on news reports on Facebook. No one gave a shit. No one cared. To the opposite, they said, "Oh well, he should be doing it." Should he? You should be fundraising a ticket to go to your house after you've had criminal assault and death threats and attempts on your family's life. That's should he? I deserve that, do I? Yeah, cool. I started it all, did I? Yeah, okay. See you later. Jogging on. Good luck. Good luck with that mess, because I ain't cleaning it up this time. I ain't cleaning it up, and it's not going to be like the last time. It's not going to be like the last time. There's everyone's like, oh, things are going to go. It's all going to go back. This always happens in waves. I'm like, you guys just put unleaded in a diesel engine. You guys have fucked yourselves. Hail, vaulted creators and esteemed Liam. How you doing, Mr. Crothers? This here, I don't even need to read the rest of her comment yet. This here is the gold standard. Do you understand? This here is what matters. This person is what matters. People like her. Kind, respectful, fans, comic book people that are here to be productive and fun, not predators, not evil evil, hateful people that are here to sabotage other people's success. We needed people that wanted to build and grow and have good energy, not people that want to go and lie in a quagmire and be eaten by worm men. So let me continue with what you're saying here, and we'll see one of the gold standards of this is someone who, if Miss Crothers came to Liam and said, Liam, will you show me some receipts? I would. But you other motherfuckers, I don't trust. I am not a fucking content engine for you. You do not own my shows. You do not own my life, and you do not have the right to sabotage or involve yourself in criminal proceedings that are going on. My case is important to me because my life has been destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have to move again. Do you know how expensive it is to buy a house? But hey, here we go. She says, good to see and hear from you. It appears you're the future. You're on a future forward road, and I'm excited to see the deliveries that are to come. Yeah, and that's something too. I think I'm going to be a lot more productive. I think I'm going to be a lot more productive now that there are like police people, now that the like e-safety commission have assigned like a specific team and everything to be monitoring all of this stuff so that I don't have to do it anymore because I've signed off on everything. So like, because like they're doing their stuff, I can just focus more on my shit. I don't have to waste hours of time. I was talking to the minister, the federal minister, like yesterday, Friday afternoon. So things are moving along in a really good way, and I'll have more time to focus on like my books, which is what I was already doing, but also just my family growing up and getting into a better state. Like, it feels good not trying to be part of something where you're not welcome. It feels good not wanting to I'm happier feeling like I'm just on my own and I've got a handful of friends than trying to make something work that everyone else is sabotaging around me. It's like people are allergic to fucking success, man. Like, people say like, Liam, you had all these golden opportunities and stuff. Like, there are people vested interest in ruining me and were not happy that I was just doing well and happy and a part of something. And they couldn't handle it. They couldn't deal with it. It infuriated them. And to the point where they're trying to whip everyone else into a frenzy and turn people against me. I was already facing like situations where people thought poorly of me because of things that other people had said. These people aren't watching my show. They don't know anything about me. They just hear shit secondhand. And what they hear, it's never good. It's never good. It's never like, oh, Liam did this great thing, or Liam did that great thing, or, his audience is great. Instead, they say, like, Liam's audience is toxic. Liam's audience is psycho. Liam's audience is crazy. Liam's audience are enabling him and whipping him into a frenzy. I'm like, my audience are funding your career. I would be very careful. You've got your guys. That's true. That's true. You do. You do. But you would also have my guys. You taught me that. You'd also have my guys. But instead, you choose Delarose, Riley, Risey, Dark Gift, Vinatra, Katie, all the slums. You choose them and their obsession with me over success, and then vilify my goddamn audience who's done nothing but fucking prop you up. All of you guys. All you guys in excess of thousands of dollars. Most of my guys are given at least $500 a pop. Most of my guys don't back for less than $500. I know, because you started shitting yourselves when people started asking for refunds. Then you started saying no refund ops, no refund ops. What you should have been saying was, Liam, we're sorry. We're going to do things a little different. We're going to treat you with respect. We're going to treat the customer with respect. And we're going to get rid of these guys that are deliberately fucking alienating the comic book audience to try and recreate this into a fucking drama space because their own drama space has died. I mean, it's not hard to look and see that they're not making money over there, but we were, weren't we? Everyone says I'm a dummy and I'm an idiot, but I can count. Has anyone taken the time? If we're like businessmen, Can we like look at what's going on? Are we all making more money? When I said you don't understand the power dynamics here, was that something that's so funny now? Guess so. Guess so. Guess so. But we're going to focus on positive, getting stuff done, and I'm not going to be put into a corner or character assassinated or chased off or bullied. I'll just do it all on my own if no one wants to stand with me. You know, I've got Frog Tiny and the guys, and even if I don't have them, you know, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to let what happened to my eldest daughter happen to Elle. I will not be afraid of these people. I will never be afraid of them. I'm not going to be bullied off the internet. I'm not going to be cancelled. I'm not going to be shut down by a fucking swarm of locusts. Liam, have you seen the show Odyssey 5 with Peter Weller? Completely missed it when it came down. I have not. If you send me the link over, maybe I can get to it. Where is it? Hello, Lifted Monster. Good to see you. You got to spank these people. It's fun and glorious. They would love it. Can you imagine the elation that would ring out of the fucking degenerate fucking corners of the internet if I started offering free spankings? I'll leave that up to you. I ain't getting in that. They already put me in fucking maid dresses and weird porn, right? Voyager turn. Yeah, I know. Liam, I found a book in a bookstore recently. I found Liam's book in a bookstore recently. Never seen a CG book in the wild. Yeah, we're out and about. We're out and about. Don't you worry. We're out there. Who do you think you are, Liam? Threatening people by reminding them of the playground rules? I know, I'm the worst, right? Please don't touch the poo. Yeah, that's right. Just let me be. Is Liam's name still on the campaign? I don't know, and it doesn't matter. I live in Darkwater. It's mine, Darkwater. I can't wait to tell them. Wait until you... Wonder Island's not too far off, by the way. Hello there. Good to see you, Lifted Monster. Good to see you, you know. Even now, Liam is the most influential person in Comicsgate. Clips about him get more views, engagement than any other big dogs, if you will. You know, if we're at an 8, the Liam Dream can go to 11. That's right. We can do it ourselves. We can do it ourselves. It's going to be slow going. It's not going to be a victory celebrated is a victory worth having. The best victories are the ones you can share with your brothers. But, you know, we can do it with just us. We'll still have a good time. We'll get through. You know, I'm going to unveil some of the manga stuff I've been doing soon, I think. It's been nearly a year for the manga series I've been working on, and I'm thinking that I might reveal my pen name and just sort of, as a final thing, as like everyone thinks they've got one big win on Liam, I might just go, ha-ha, and then watch people go, oh, and just get salty. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm wrapping up with that artist, and that volume's done. So I just want people to look at the millions of views. I'm just going to go, fuck you. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious, guys. Stay tuned. The dream is real. The dream is real. Just wait. Just wait. It's going to be funny. Words, words, and more words, Liam. Yes, you might be surprised to learn that I'm an author and a storyteller, a weaver of dreams, a teller of stories. I can sing, dance, no matter whether I can even stand on my head. I know 7 words of Latin. I am not domestic. I am a luxury, and in that sense, necessary, my friend. I am, in fact, full of words. Full of words. Yeah. Where are we? Brah, they are lucky to be half a world away. Just saying. Yeah. Well. I can never forget the Bancroft letter. Wonder Island is not for his channel, and the next book he promoted was a coloring book. Why would you feel betrayed, Liam? You know, like it's like yeah, it's like okay. Man, I believe I was so hurt by these people because I was like, we're on a team. I did this. I helped you with all of this. And, I never got thanks. I always got backstabbed and shit. And just thankless gay shit. I'm so glad to be just on my own now. And it's just I got you guys. And we're going to just get forward. I'm going to review some of this stuff, like I said, and have a good time. And it's done. You know what I mean? It's I'm not expecting anyone to show up and say, hey, I'm with you. You know what I mean? Slap me on the shoulder and be like, all right, I'm just going to be me and, be kind to the people who've been kind and just get on with it. The people that are doing this evil, despicable shit are in violation of the TOS, and I'll just flick them away. See you later. They'll cry, the outrage, and I'll be like, don't care. Let's talk about round-the-clock stories. Printed in Great Britain by Purnell & Sons, Poulton. What year is it? The Little Singing Kettle, page 7. Mr. Curly was a small pixie who lived by himself in a twisty cottage. His cottage stood at the end of the village of Hoe. Oh, where's this going? And was always very neatly kept. It had a blue and yellow curtains, and the windows blue and yellow flowers in the garden. And can you guess how pretty and trim it was? Mr. Curly was mean. He was the meanest pixie that ever lived, and he was always pretending to be very generous. Indeed, if he had a bag of peppermints, he never let anyone see it, but he put it straight into his pocket until he got home. And if he met any of the other pixies, he would pull a long face and say, if only I had a bag of sweets, I would offer you one. Never mind, the others said. It is nice of you to think of it. And they went off saying what a nice, generous creature Mr. Curly was. Now, one day, as Mr. Curly was walking along the Dimity Lane, where the trees met overhead, so that it was just like walking in a green tunnel, he saw a queer fellow. He saw a queer fellow in front of him, and it was a humpy goblin. A humpy goblin? Where is this story going? 1 minute. So it was just like walking in a green tunnel. He saw a queer fellow in many saucepans. In front of him. This was a humpy goblin, and he carried a great many saucepans, kettles, and pans, all slung down his back, round his shoulders, and over his chest. They made a great noise as he walked, but louder than the noise was the humpy goblin's voice. He sang all the time in a voice that cracked like a bell. Oh boy, was he a humpy goblin, the most humpy of goblins, humping and humpeting, hippity and humpeting all the way. Do you want a saucepan, kettle, or pan? If you do, here's the Goblin Man. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, guys. What's happening? Oh, my viewers are going up. Now I know I've got fans of Mr. Humpity. Here we go. The Humpity Goblin with his load of pots and pans is down the road. Hi, here's the Goblin Man. Do you want a saucepan, kettle, or pan? Now, Mr. Curly badly wanted a new kettle because his own had a hole in it, and the water leaked out over the stove each day, making a faint hissing noise. So he ran after the Goblin Man and called him. The Humpty Goblin turned around and grinned. He was a cheerful fellow, always pleased to see anybody. I want a good little kettle, nice and cheap, said Curly. I've got just the one for you, said Humpy, and he pointed to a bright little kettle on his back. Curly looked at it. How much is it? He asked. 6pence, said the Goblin. It was quite cheap, but the mean old Curly wasn't going to give the pixie, give a 6pence for the kettle. He pretended to be shocked at the price, and then gave a huge sigh. Oh, I'm not rich enough to pay all that, he said sadly. I can only pay a 3pence. Oh no, said Humpy firmly. 3pence isn't good enough. You must pay a 6pence. Well, they stood and they talked to one another for a long time, one saying a 6pence and the other saying a 3pence, until at last Humpty Goblin laughed in Curly's face and walked off, jingling all his kettles and pans. You're a mean old stick, he called after Curly. I'm not going to sell you a thing. Goodbye, Mr. Mean. And off he went too soon to sing again his song, and Curly could hear him. Do you want a saucepan, kettle, or pan? If you do, here's the Goblin Man. Curly stood and watched him angrily. Then he started walking too. He had to follow the Goblin Man because that was his way home to Twisty Cottage, but he took care not to follow too close, for he was afraid that Humpy might call something rude after him. What might Humpy call Curly? I don't know. It was a hot day, and the Goblin was tired. After a while, he thought he would sit down in the hedge and get some rest. So he sat down, and it wasn't more than a minute before he was sound asleep and snoring. Curly heard him and knew he must be asleep. A naughty thought slipped into his head. I wonder if I could take the kettle from him whilst he's asleep. I could leave a threepence beside him to pay for it. How cross would he be when he woke up, only to find that I got the kettle, and he got a threepence for it all. He crept up to Humpty Goblin. To Humpy Goblin. He certainly was sound asleep, with his mouth wide open. And it was a good thing there wasn't anything above his head that could drop into it. Curly carefully undid the shining little kettle without making a noise. Wow, this is what we all expected out of today's stream. Look, I just got another 4 followers. Hey, guys. Even a chink of noise. Then he put in 3 bright pennies on the grass beside the Goblin and ran off chuckling to himself for being so smart. He soon reached home. He filled the little kettle with water and put it on the fire. It really was a dear little thing. And it boiled very quickly indeed, sending a spurt of steam out the spout before Curly had got to the teapot to make the tea. Just as he was sitting down to enjoy a cup of tea and a piece of cake, someone walked into his garden path and looked in at the door. It was Humpy Goblin. When he saw that Curly had the kettle on the fire, he grinned all over his face. So you've got it, he said. Well, much good it may do you. Kettle, listen to me. Teach Mr. Curly the lesson he needs. Ho, ho, Curly, keep the kettle. I don't want it. Laughing and skipping, the Goblin went down the path again. Curly felt a bit uncomfortable. What was he laughing like that for? Oh, he just tried to frighten me and make me think something nasty would happen, said Curly to himself. That silly old Goblin. He cleared away his cup and saucer and filled up a kettle again. He was washing up the dirty dishes when a knock came at his door, and a Dame Pitterpat looked in. I say, Curly, could you let me have a little tea? I've emptied my tin, and it's such a long way to the shops. Now, Curly had a whole tin full, but he wasn't going to let Dame Pitterpat have any. He ran to the dresser to look down the tin he knew was empty. Yes, certainly, Dame Pitterpat, he said. You shall have some of my tea. Oh dear, the tin's empty. What a pity. You could have had half of it if only I'd had any, but I must have used it all up. Dame Pitterpat looked at the empty tin, and then she turned to go. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Curly, she said. It was kind of you to say I could have had half if only you had any tea. And then a funny thing happened. The little kettle on the stove set out a big spurt of steam and began to sing a shrill song. Mr. Curly has plenty of tea. He's just as mean as a pixie can be. Look in the tin in the left of the shelf and see what a lot he has for himself. Then the kettle took another breath and shouted, Mean old thing, stingy old thing. Oh, she looked at him. Dame Pitterpat was so astonished that she took to a gape for a minute. She couldn't think of where the song came from. She had no idea it was the kettle on the stove, but Curly knew. And he was so angry and ashamed that he could have cried. Dame Pitterpat went off to the shelf, took down the tin that stood on the left, and then she opened it, and sure enough, it was full to the brim of tea. Oh, look at this, she said. Well, Curly, you said I could have half of any tea you had, so I shall take you at your word. Thanks very much. She emptied half the tea and in the tin and brought it out to the cottage, looking around curiously to see if she could spy who had sung the song about Curly, but she didn't think of looking at the kettle, of course. Curly was so angry with the kettle that he decided to beat it with a stick. It had it coming. But before he could do that, someone poked their head in the window and called him, "Mr. Curly, will you lend me your umbrella, please?" And he said, "Fuck off," and beat him to death with a stick. Okay, where were we? I think we're ready to go. So, through here, yep. Now all the way down to the bottom. Okay, let's see, where were we? Where were we? Catch up with the chat. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, show receipts. That's too much. Yeah, they've done that too. They love moving the goalposts. Have they not got anything else to do? No, they don't. We know that because of the stream that TJ did, where he was saying they're like sitting in there Christmas Day, you know? Same day I was swatted, by the way, while they're sitting there waiting, hoping that I'd do a stream about it on their Christmas Day. Pretty fucking... And then they go around and say that I was streaming on Christmas Day when I wasn't. But really it's because they were all sitting in a Discord on Christmas Day, hoping I would stream, watching videos about me. That is sad for over 12 hours. That is sad, man. Sad. That means I had no family, no friends, nothing. You know, I'd pity them at one point, but not anymore. Dude, I have had to say it on X. Ethan is the modern day B. Clay Moore. He didn't like it. He needs to deal with it unless he actually fulfills his multiple extreme late campaigns. Well, I've always sort of said that I think that he will. I think that he will. But it's easy to understand why all of this stuff. Like, look, I'm a fair person. I try to be fair. It's easy to understand how all this stuff piles up, stuff happens. But it's something that, yeah, we should all be getting on top of. The sound of limitations, double E, limitations. Less drama, more delivery of books is how CG should be. Well, everything should be ideal, but in the end, CG is just a distant memory. I think long past time for me to just move on. You know, and all the people that want to say, "Liam, we told you so," I still think I made the right decision by accepting a man's apology and giving a chance to something better. And no one could see what would happen. And if we got the good timeline, it'd be the best timeline, you know, the timeline where everyone's making money and having a good time. But just couldn't get there. I could see the dream. I knew how to get there, but I just couldn't lead people there, unfortunately. So in a few years, it'll come out that Liam is the real estate tycoon of Australia. They're stalking him as making him richer. Nah, I ain't a real estate tycoon. I just own a few properties, just extra insurance to keep things going. Make your money work for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, they just demand them receipts to do more pointless effort so they know they won't accept and laugh at you for doing the work. Exactly. Well, that's what happened when I went to the police station. I was so offended and angry. I went down to the police station, and that was live. And even with the cop there telling them everything was real and all of this shit, they just started being like, "Oh, yeah, look at how angry he is. Liam's walking back and forward." And they were just talking about me walking back and forward rather than the police confirming anything I said. And I just thought, wow, like when it happened, I was like, when I got home, like, that's it. No more receipts, no more proof. Everyone keeps saying I don't offer proof and I don't provide receipts, or what I give is never enough. And it's like, why? So you can do like a show on it? I thought the whole point of this is just confirm this shit is happening so that you can confirm that I'm not lying. Like, no, you want to blow things up and make YouTube drama out of it. And then that's going to complicate stuff for the police, for me. It's going to be a mess. All you have to do is have enough to go, okay, I can confirm that this is real and this is what's going on. You know, that should be enough. You know, I'm not asking you to make a documentary about anything. You know what I mean? Waste of time to prove people who believe the opposite with evidence is unreliable. And again, you can give someone a plane ticket to go see their dead grandfather, and they're still not going to be grateful. You know what I mean? They'll still talk shit about you. With that being the world that we live in, just means like there's no hope for any sort of reasonable people that like this is someone that has no reason to be upset with me at all. Zero. And still, just because everyone else is doing it. And it's just like it's very eye-opening. Very eye-opening. So I'm going to do more dropping in the Archer, and I have a good, awesome. I can't wait to see it. Not the right tone for drama for them. Anyone else? No, they'll look for those case by case. For some reason, they offer you a lower level of respect. This is true. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I decided to pull my support from Shane Davis. That fucker can't keep you off his mind, and it's annoying. Last night, his baller turned into worthless trash cast. Disgusting. Were they talking shit about me on Ballers, Lobo? I don't watch this stuff, so it's just mailing at this point, yeah. I haven't said anything bad about Shane. Shane's got a daughter my L's age. They're born like pretty much in the same month, I think. Like, and Yanzi seemed very professional in the back room, and I've always tried to be respectful of Shane. So he was respectful of me when I asked if I could use his character for the King's cover. He said no, but he was respectful and answered respectfully, and it's like, I don't want to do this, and that's like, that's fair enough considering all of the drama that's going on. Imagine if I did it and then here we are now. It'd be like he'd have to message me and say, oh, now I'm not cool with it. No, so he made the right decision. It's just unfortunate. I have no beef with the dude, but yeah, I guess is he talking shit about me? Is that what's going on? Yeah, hit the like button. Is there only 9 days on Total? Hey, can someone go buy Total Conquest? Like, just go buy a copy of Total Conquest, will you? That's lazy, but they're going to lock the store if someone doesn't buy it within like 9 days or something. I did get an email about that, and I want to continue selling it like after I've got it printed, so I can like show you guys, and that's when I'm going to properly market it. So could someone that's just got an extra $25 or whatever just go buy a copy of that? Someone dropped the link. There it is. Go grab a copy of that for me, so it'll just keep the store open. I think that everyone here probably already has a copy, but if you haven't, go get it. So that'll be going to print soon. So your little movie perp should make a stream about Gaiba. Maybe one day, yeah. Yeah. I tried. I used to be somebody. Exactly. I tried to back it again. Is the campaign closed now? Might be closed. Might not have. It might have already closed. Can you back it? Try and back it, guys. If you can, it might be closed. Oh well, fuck it. Oh goodness. Ethan had a bit of a slip where he said he fired the Kings, ending the Kings show. It looks like he wasn't earning enough money. He couldn't find anyone else who tried to make it interesting. I don't know if that's the case. If you said fired, I don't know. It's odd. Are you familiar with perhaps one of the most insane love movies ever seen, Stardust? Yes, I own it. It's by Neil Gaiman, and it used to sit right here, but now it's in a box. Normally, I'd be like, yes, this, and we would talk about it, and it would be fun. But it's currently in a box packed up over there, so we can move. Love Fame Pixies. Always happy on. Katie was queen for a day, but couldn't save the Kings. Yeah, well, they sure showed me. Oh, man, I need a decent haircut. That's something she could have done for me. She could have given me a decent haircut. Now I can't even trust her near me with a pair of scissors. Where were we? Then the goblin springs up and yells, "It's humping time!" Get dunking on Curly, yeah. Just leave it behind, yeah. Oh, it was the guy that helped get a plane ticket that started shit. Oh, he didn't start shit. He just talked shit in the chats, and because people send me screenshots and clips and shit, right? Like I get like little things sent to me all the time, and I went, "That's the fucking dude we bought a fucking ticket for in the chat, like paying me fucking out hardcore." I'm like, dude, sent you to see your fucking dead father when no one gave a shit. Oh, what the fuck? So I went over and I looked at his Facebook where the stuff was, right? No, his Facebook, like his Twitter where his stuff was, and he deleted all of his like comments thanking me or any comment he ever had interacting with me. So like all of the like, oh, thanks so much and all this that he posted and all that, like, you know, deleted it all. So I was like, wow, not only did you like delete all of your shit, you know what I mean? Not only you talking shit, but you deleted being nice to me in case someone saw you being nice to me. That's fucked, you know. And I'm sorry that you know we actually helped him because he didn't appreciate it. Apparently, all the talk of how much he appreciated it, we just pissed money up a wall. I don't think you can refund it or anything now either, but because I think it's too late. But you know, maybe you can try if you want. Clearly, you didn't give a shit. Yeah, major dick move. Very disillusioned. I was very, very disillusioned. But all of this sort of came together. All of these things happened. I watched the stream with Gamer from Mars and Spoony, and I saw Spoony going into decline and his struggle with mental health and feeling worthless and stuff, and people wanting more content from him and him not doing it. And I felt the same way, like with the Patreon. I want to do more with that, and I haven't updated everything like I wanted to. And then I thought me just taking a break, which I'm doing because I'm in the middle of moving, even though I feel really good, I also don't want to be selfish to you guys who've supported me. And then I got, again, my watership down, which is great. And that made me think of Angela and, you know, you and all you guys. And I'm like, you want me to like talk about this stuff? We're all sort of getting together, having a good time, right? And like, I don't want to let you down. And I enjoy talking with you guys too. I just don't like the weird guys that are outside the walls, banging, trying to crawl in and eat everyone on the inside. You know, it's like being surrounded by a fucking horde of zombie wasp men. Like, get the fuck out of here. I just want to sit in my hall and hang out with my people and mind my own fucking business and talk about rabbit survival stories. But what happened? I think Lobo's probably gone. But did anyone else see? Someone will send it to me probably if they're talking mad shit about me or something. Shane, I'm surprised Shane's bringing me up. I've said nothing about Shane. Nothing bad about him. I think I played with him a couple of times. But, yeah, don't know. Just hope that the postal service will be less crappy. It's hit or miss with them, yeah. All right, I think that's about it. I think we're about to go, you know. Yeah, they were covering Katie's clip of, okay. All right, well, send it to me. Is there anything that's actionable or are they just having commentary? If they're just having commentary, it's fine. Just having commentary, it's fine. But, like, yeah, if they're, like, calling me, like, you know, a diseased maniac or whatever the fuck they want to do, then that's not on. That's not on. Again, I'm okay with dialogue, opinions, discussion, you know, opposition, all of that's fine. They'll tell you the otherwise. I really don't mind. But I'm not going to let people push the narrative that I'm like crazy anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I'm sorry. You know, like maybe, you know, loop-de-loo Looney Tunes, ha-ha crazy, but not like Liam's, you know, insane. Don't listen to him. Like, because that's deliberately maligning me in the eyes of other people. And I've shown receipts multiple times showing that I'm not mentally ill, and I know that I've got screenshots of individuals in the chat talking about it at the time I'm showing it. So if things do end up in a court of law and they go, we didn't know, it was just my opinion, it's going to be really hard to argue against not knowing when you're talking about it. And I'm showing signed medical release forms to the contrary of what you are claiming, to be fair, in my humble opinion. But, yeah, on a more sort of happy note and everything, thank you. And sorry to anyone I disappointed, but I probably shouldn't even say sorry, really. You know, it's just time to do what I do and People need to accept that they have no control over my life. And if they don't want me to have any control over their life, they need to stop giving me the power. Don't put the power in my hands. Conduct yourself like you would a professional. Be respectful and polite. Don't falsify things. Don't be a Whisper Network scumbag. Don't lie about me. Don't turn my career into your plaything. Be good to your customers. Be good to your peers to the best of your ability. What else can I say? Be excellent to one another. It's been the rule from the beginning, right? Just try and be cool to one another. And if you want to be part of the crowd that are defined by creating misery and suffering and conflict with other people for no reason, that's what gives you your jollies. Stay far the fuck away from me. And if shit happens to you because that's what you are, I don't give a fuck, you goober motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. I don't give the slightest of fucks. You can't control me. You can't stop me from doing anything. And I have rights. I don't want to be in perpetual conflict. I don't want to be that way. I didn't agree to join 4chan. I didn't sign those terms of service. I want to talk about comic books and fairy tales and manga and everything's packed up. I can't even think of it. He-Man and X-Men. Isn't it interesting how I tried twice to watch X-Men 97's new season, and I just can't get into it. I really hate the animation style. I really hate the animation style. It feels so cheap. It feels so cheap and shitty. I feel like, and I was looking at some anime clips on Twitter before I started the stream. And I retweeted, I think, where it says anime peaked in the 90s. I think I'm looking at, I might be mistaken, but I think it's a clip from Vampire Hunter D. And I'm like, look at that animation style, that fluidity and the power and the perspective, and it's so fucking wild and good. And just everything feels less. Even though Scott Summers is kicking ass and shooting himself around with these eye beams and doing shit, and the stuff with Jubilee is amazing. I've never seen Jubilee's powers done that way, and they're just awesome. You're take her seriously now. You're oh wow, that's cool. Fireworks' powers is cool. But I felt it was sort of video gamey, but their actions are cool, but they're still so stiff and shit, and there's something about it. I don't know what it is. There's a lifelessness to it. You know what I mean? There's extra lines in places there shouldn't be and not lines where there should. Just I don't know. What do you guys think? Think nothing? Indiegogo says pledges have been disabled by the creator. Well, they haven't. I was meant to probably tell you guys to back beforehand and didn't. So it's turned itself off. I did get a notification saying if they didn't back by this. Hey, wait, no. I'll look it up later. I don't care. I think they said the 25th. I don't think I've turned pledges off. I don't even know how to do that. I don't want to go near. I'm still a trusted partner with Indiegogo, by the way. And I messaged my representative. I've got a new representative. I think her name's Jules or something. And I was like, can we please just put it back the way it was? Is there any way? And she's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I was like, come on. Is there some way we can because this is hard to navigate. And they're like, oh, we're here to help you. And we can book this time and we'll get a professional to go through and teach you how to use the new format and all of this. And they're she's booking an appointment for me and everything. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that right now. I'm focused on other stuff. I don't want to learn that now and then have to learn it again later. But I don't want to do a fucking seminar with fucking Indiegogo where I'll learn how to use a fucking new site. It shouldn't. I'd rather solve a labyrinth. You know what I mean? I'd rather be teleported by the dungeon master into Dungeon World and have to fucking solve a series of fucking death traps than have to learn the new fucking Indiegogo. But they've always been really good to me. They've always been really good to me, and I appreciate what they do. I love the partner program. I love Indiegogo, but they're the person they've got, Jules or whatever, is very nice, very sweet or kind guy, whatever. He's very clear in communication. I just don't want to like do a course to learn how to use a fucking website. You know what I mean? Like it should all be in one place, like it used to be. The X-Men 90 animation style reminded me of Berserk. Yes. It has the slow, cheap feel. Sometimes like a video game with slowdowns. Yeah. That's so, Oni, you are so on point. That is exactly right. It feels like that Berserk 2016 cartoon. And like, that was shit. Even though it was faithful to the comics or the manga. Like, but it was shit. It's almost like CG, but not. I guess it is CG, isn't it? Just you can feel it. Something's not right about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't know when the next time we'll see each other is. Probably over on Frog Tony's channel at some point. Oh, and you'll see me everywhere, by the way. They'll be clipping this for a million years. They can't help themselves. It's like there's heroin and then Liam Gray, and they can't afford heroin, right? So I'll be everywhere, but I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. I'm gonna go crash. Got to get up in about 2.5 hours, and then it's back to the routine. We'll get back to packing up this house, and then in theory, the next time you see me, unless I upload like a chicken video tomorrow or something to show you the size of the chickens now, I'll do that as like a quick straight, like short or something. So then the next time you might see, probably be a month or so. Depends on how long it takes us to get into the new place. We've already got papers and everything ready to go. Lawyers all ready to go. Shouldn't take more than 3 months. It's already been a month, been over a month. So I think I have to ask the wife. I'm not good with dates, guys. Not good with dates. Joy and blessings to all. That's right. That's how we should close out. Joy and blessings to all. That's great. Thank you, Miss Crothers. You're the best one of all of us. You're the best of all of us. You're the gold fucking standard. You know. Hold on. I'm going to treat myself while I'm here. Boom. Let's...
No, Wade, you're too dangerous. And it's for...
1 minute. Here we go.
You guys have an island? Can I join? No, Wade, you're too dangerous. And it's for mutants only. But Juggernaut's on the island. He's not even a mutant. And is also a super dangerous bad guy. Well, he's a changed man. And plus, he's Chuck's brother. I guess he's not that bad. I mean, as long as you don't have some world ender like Apocalypse there, you know? Dude. Well, he is a mutant. A deranged one. I just hope there are no other exceptions. Just tell me it's not some weirdo perverted eugenicist like Mr. Sinister or something. Yeah, about that. Oh my god. You put him on your...
Remember, Sinister isn't a mutant. We think he's a mutant, but he's actually a dude that genetically altered himself. So he's more of a mutate. High evolutionary did some shit too.
Government? We do need him for some science stuff, you know. You know, this is why everyone hates you guys. Mm-hmm. Deadpool has always been the redheaded stepchild of so many teams, but especially the X-Men. While he is a mutate and not a mutant, that distinction does not stop them from glazing the hell out of Spider-Man, another mutate, and at the same time disrespecting Wade every single chance they get. How are you going to create an entire island where you give amnesty to Juggernaut, who is a human, Apocalypse, who was doing all of this to you last week, and the worst one of them all, Mr. Sinister, who unlike the other two has always been and will always be evil. And guess what, surprise surprise, you have these Sins of Sinister events not too long after Krakoa forms, because the supervillain you let control your most sensitive technology, the Resurrection Protocols, found a way to exploit them for his gain. And because of
Big surprise. Big surprise. But Sinister is one of the best fucking Marvel villains. Sinister is really cool, right? Mr. Sinister. I feel that people have slept on him a bit. I mean, he's always sort of been there as a major guy, but he's got a good design. He's cool. He's evil. He's like not overdone.
this, Mr. Sinister controls the entire universe for a moment due to the X-Men fucking up so bad. Yet, for whatever reason, Wade Wilson, the most ethical man on that fucked up X-Force team I talked about, is not allowed on the island. Now, I get it, Deadpool is comedic relief, but seeing my boy get blown to pieces by the same people he's fought to protect and save is insane, especially when we all know the healing factor does not stop the pain. This has gotta hurt, man. Every time the smelly, short, drunk rat bastard Wolverine fixes his lips to talk some shit about Wade, I have to laugh. Who do you think you are, bub? You are more depraved and a bigger deadbeat than Deadpool. Like, one of the only wholesome moments we see Wolverine spend time with his family is playing Russian roulette, where instead of a gun, they use their claws to stab themselves in the brain. Mutants are insane.
This is fucking retarded. I did not know that. This is fucking nuts.
Where instead of a gun, they use their claws to stab themselves in the brain.
I have not read this. This is fucked up for more reasons than is obvious. This is his son. This is his son.
Mutants are insane, people. So today, I want to discuss Deadpool trying to join Krakoa, his weird relationship with Wolverine, and how he eventually gets what he wants, but it's not exactly what he hoped for. In Deadpool 2019, issue 6, written by the great Kelly Thompson, we see Deadpool freak out at the fact that the X-Men have excluded him from the island, and more importantly,
Look, Deadpool also uses words, just like Liam. I bet you Liam speaks in yellow speech bubbles too.
Cure for cancer, since he has all kinds of cancer. The medicine they have on their island is a huge plot point that I want to discuss more, but the X-Men are being huge jigs at this point in time. Elsa Bloodstone makes the obvious point that the X-Men are jerks, and it's kind of their charm. I don't know if I'd call it charming though, Elsa. So Wade comes up with a plan to use his mutant buddy, Jelby, to sneak into the island through the mutant-only gates. The minute he steps foot on the island, however, Sage, who is like the mutant version of Oracle with a much sadder backstory, notifies the team, and they send everyone to stomp him out. Magic, Wolverine, even Storm, all for Deadpool. Deadpool calls him fascist, and Wolverine just gets Magic to elbow him in the nose. Ouch. She then says, what do we
Like, I don't want to be part of fucking Krakoa anyway, man. Get out of there, Deadpool.
do with him, and can we keep the shark? Which is real, Jeff is a cutie. Deadpool tries to butter up Emma, but she just threatens to scramble his noggin more than they already are. Textbook telepaths people, what a scumbag. Then Emma calls Jeff a handbag, which is very on brand for her. Now Emma does say that Rogue was the one to vouch for him, since he's always been a friend and an ally, which surprisingly Emma agrees with. However, Emma tells him they don't have the cure to cancer, which is a half-truth, because they could realistically fix him with all the Omega level mutants they got on there. Not to mention the medicine they have. She also tells him they can't let him on the island permanently, but he can visit with express permission. Emma then tells him that he is simply too unstable and dangerous, and that they ran the numbers and he would burn the place to the ground within a month. Exactly a 97% chance. This is so insane that they were able to do all this.
No, he wouldn't. He'd fit in just fine. He could even be on an X team for a little while. He would be lovable and tell interesting stories.
Research to determine how dangerous Deadpool is, but no one did the same research for Sabretooth, Mystique, or Mr. Sinister, who, need I remind you, weaponized.
Hold the fuck on. Was Sabretooth on Krakoa?
To determine how dangerous Deadpool is, but no one did the same research for Sabretooth, Mystique, or Mr. Sinister, who need.
Look, guys. I don't know if you've heard my Sabretooth rant before. I think you can find it on my channel under videos. I think Cosmic Vader might have it here. He might have clipped it for me and sent it to me, I believe. But let me tell you something. If you're only know Sabretooth from like the cartoon series or the movies. Sabretooth is a homicidal fucking maniac. I mean, has one of the highest body counts in the fucking Marvel universe. And I ain't talking about who he's laying down on top of, right? This ain't some furry fucking fantasy like the deluded fucking dreams of John Delarose. Sabretooth is a fucking murder machine. Like, just what he does for like, okay, every single time Wolverine has a birthday, and keep in mind, Wolverine's like fucking 200 or something years old at least, right? Every time Wolverine has a birthday, Sabretooth goes out, finds all of the people that fucking are even tangentially connected to Wolverine, murders them, and then spells out the words happy birthday in their limbs and organs, so that when Logan eventually finds them, they're just a cascade of carnage to celebrate his fucking day of his birth as one giant fuck you to Wolverine. So, like, he does this every fucking birthday. And, like, if you just consider that, ignore all of the other murders, ignore his early appearances, ignore fucking the Morlock fucking slaughter because he was one of the guys that were doing that. Ignore all of that. This dude has a fucking is a mass murderer. A mass murderer. You know, you might have just shared a cigar with Wolverine when he was having a bad fucking day. You held your fucking nose long enough to get past his fucking horrible BO, and you showed kindness to the mongrel man and gave him a fucking cigar one time. Sabretooth fucking saw it. Next thing you know, you dismembered and strung around like fucking, I don't know, fucking confetti, I guess. Oh, not confetti, like Christmas fucking tinsel, right? Like it's fucked. It's fucked, man. Like, be nice to Wolverine at your own fucking risk. It's hard enough as it is if you know anything about Wolverine. Man, you know what? For all of these heartfelt, heart-touching stories about fucking Wolverine, oh, man. I'll tell you what. This guy's right about something. This guy's right about something. He is a stinky, angry little man. He is a stinky, angry little man. Holy crap, that's fucking nuts. Yeah, and that's only just the tip of the iceberg. Sabretooth is fucking just batshit, and they're letting him hang out on fucking Krakoa? Like, the dude hunts people for sport like a cat hunts mice just because he's bored. Like, it's just one of the things he does as a hobby. You know, like, it's not like, and it's just random people. But there he is hanging out with cats on fucking Krakoa. Like, what the fuck? They better have those cuckoos up in this guy's fucking brain. And I ain't talking about the like blah, 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 blah stuff. I'm talking about the fucking like, they better be, those three girls and that Ice Queen better be fucking scrambling that motherfucker's mind. Xavier better be in there fucking cerebro deep into that fucking guy, fixing his fucking defects before they let him fucking live on that island. But then again, the guy just said that Sinister's there too. So they're willing to like look the other way. And Apocalypse. They had Kid Apocalypse there, if I recall. But yeah, this is nuts, man. Sabretooth was admiring Krakoa. I do not remember this. Yeah, Draken. Yeah, it's his son. So he's sitting there popping claws into his own fucking head with his own son. What a dickhead. I know they regenerate, but it's not exactly like Logan has the best track record for fucking having a good mind. Maybe all of that fucking brain damage isn't a good thing. Also, Wolverine's got an adamantium skull. So, like, do the claws just tink into his fucking head? Or do the claws puncture a hole in the adamantium and then go into his brain? And does his adamantium skull have a whole bunch of, like, holes in it now? I bet you, like, whereas poor Draken, even though he's not someone I want to fucking defend, don't get me started on him, he's got bone claws. He's got a bone skull and a normal squishy brain. The more you examine this whole fucking thing, not only the fact it's his son and it's fucked up to do that, like the more you look at this, the worse it is. I don't know how anyone could be Team Wolverine. I'm sorry.
I remind you,
Wolverine kills kids.
The resurrection protocols to turn everyone into his minions. He literally controlled the universe for centuries because the X-Men stupidly trusted him because they couldn't find anyone else to do their Jean work. Like, how is Jean Grey sitting next to the man who violated her in all sorts of ways? The Quiet Council, which was their governing body, was insane. Wade then walks out and takes a flower as a souvenir. And because of that, they all jump him immediately. Bro can't even take a fucking flower. Look at how they brutalize my poor guy. Jeff the Land Shark surprisingly squares up with Storm and somehow poses a real threat to her. Rogue then intervenes and calms Wade down, offering the flower. But now Deadpool is pissed and doesn't want it anymore. He says he doesn't want pity from them. Rogue says it's not pity. Then Wolverine finishes, it's just friendship. Oh really? This is friendship. This is friendship. You guys literally double penetrated this man for touching a fucking flower. What kind of friends do this? Well, we are going to see just that as Wade tries one more time to get onto the island. In Wolverine 2020, issue 20, we see Wade parachute onto the island and immediately get blown to pieces. His body parts falling on top of Black Tom Cassidy and Wolverine. Gross. We then see him try to ride on Cyclops' back to get in, hide in a barrel of alcohol, wash up on their beach, even dressing up like Wolverine. He keeps trying to get onto the island so he can join the X-Force, the team that Wolverine is currently on and Beast is running. In order to get on that team, Blind Owl tells him to audition by helping Wolverine out. We cut to Wolverine discovering a bunch of broken robots that seem to have been slashed up. This kicks off a plot revolving around Danger Room, Maverick who betrays Deadpool and locks him up, and Wolverine. Rest in piss, you rat bastard. And after Wolverine is done brutalizing Wade as much as humanly possible, he does one final act of debauchery and cuts him up into two pieces to fit him between the bars so that he can free him. The only problem is, when the doors open, Wolverine does not bother to put Wade back together, instead just leaving him there in constant pain. It's just friendship, guys, remember? The next time they meet, he just runs Wade over. Talk, this relationship is just sad at this point. It's not until they do this weird merge thing and spare a Danger Room at the end of the issue, Deadpool walks off to quote-unquote see about a job. When he shows up though, everyone looks at him confused and Wolverine has this Disney-ass moment like, Wade. He says, yeah? Get your ass over here. We need your help. Now you're thinking this is wholesome, it's positive, he got what he wanted, and now he can finally be a part of the team. Even though he was already on the team, he gets to rejoin, whatever. But the minute he joins the X-Force, they find entirely new ways to brutalize him and embarrass him. Deadpool is the X-Men's abuse goblin. So in X-Force issue 30, we get to see Deadpool finally join the team and gloats around Krakoa and how Wolverine begged him to. But on his first mission, Logan does not show up and instead Omega Red does, who immediately tosses Wade off a cliff after this prank he did with the whoopee cushion. But never mind that, they go on a mission together.
This is why you never trust a fucking filthy, dirty fucking communist, right? A dirty, filthy communist. It's nothing but trouble. Nothing but fucking trouble, right? Nothing but trouble.
And sure, Wade is annoying as hell, but Wolverine must have invited him for a reason, right? Wrong. The first mission he goes on, Deadpool gets cut to pieces by Omega Red and is left for dead with a polar bear that's sniffing about for a meal, while Omega Red simply solos the entire mission. After this, you'd think maybe Deadpool would get a cool moment, but instead, the polar bear that eats him gets hunted down by Kraven the Hunter, who keeps Deadpool as a trophy. Does his absence trigger some kind of alarm for the X-Force? Do they even look for their missing ally? Does anybody give a single shit about Wade? No. Instead, Sage is getting drunk and showing Omega Red to his murder room to satisfy his murder cravings. This man is so depraved that he needs to kill somebody every single night in order to feel like a person. And they let him on.
I prefer frankness myself. Today I have been a bad dog. The trafficker could attest to this if he still had a mouth and lungs. This is fucked.
To kill somebody every single night in order to feel like a person. And they let him on the island with zero problems but hassled Wade for how long? This of course backfires for them in the end, with Kraven sneaking on the island, killing all of their backup bodies, and genuinely posing the biggest threats since their inception. All because nobody bothered to give a single shit about Deadpool. The X-Men hate Deadpool, and I don't get why. Seriously, I cannot state enough how much the X-Men mistreat this man. He is their abuse goblin. There is so much gore I did not post here because honestly it was too much for me to bear. I also want to talk about how badly the X-Men screwed up Krakoa by letting Mr. Sinister on the island. Like, comment, and subscribe. Big shout out to the Watchtower employees.
Shout out to Watchtower employees. So this is a great channel. I love it. I love it, and now I'm gonna go. Clyde, and here is the link to the video. The YouTuber that made that, very talented young man called Mo Schmo. Go subscribe. Tell him the Koala King sent you. Fun videos on that channel. Fun videos. Be a fun guy to chat with, talk comics with. Now that I've showed him and we've had a laugh, I'm sure that everyone will rush to him and tell him that I am Satan, and he'll be on all sorts of shows. What would you do without me? Well, I'm going off to my solo series now. Fuck the X-Men. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're a bunch of mutants. Bunch of dirty, filthy mutants. That's all I got to say about them. You know, they're in the way of our ultimate goal, which is a hit solo series. The Ever Loving Lean, issue 1. I'll catch you guys. I guess probably again a couple of months, month or so. It depends. Depends on how quick we can get packed up and get in there. But thank you for all your support. Thank you for bringing it back to just the beginning of the stream. Thank you to the people that have been around through all of this for the longest time. And I'm sorry if I haven't always handled things the best. I've needed a lot more time off. Someone asked me when the last time I had a vacation was, and I was like, I don't know, I had to figure it out. And it was like, I think it was like 14 or 20 or something years ago. So we went off, we had a vacation for a little while, and just being alone over the last couple of days while the wife was away helped a lot. Quiet house, clear thoughts, you know, dogs aren't barking and carrying on. I could just sit and focus on work. And I think that it's going to be really nice being in the new studio where I'll be able to go away from all the noise and the chaos and just sit quietly and sort of get back to this state, my normal state, instead of being constantly high strung and being hit from all directions. And now that I just fully embrace the fact that I'm not trying to be part of any sort of team or unit or anything, I've given up the illusion that I do honestly feel a lot better. And I think that things are going to be good from here. So stick around, be excellent to one another, hit like, hit subscribe, and maybe I'll even get around to fixing up the Patreon. Maybe I'll even get around to that. But let's just get this place all packed up first. You know, you can't always pick your enemies, but I've always got the best of friends. Thanks for watching. Catch you later, Brent.